and knowing I could have competed in the biggest parkour competition ever and I didn't, I would be so upset.
You really have to like break the barrier of when you're safe, you don't leave the ground, right?
Yeah.
Because that's parkour. It's like at the start, you don't know what to move, when to move. Like you're learning those skills, which is why
And
parkour,
you're like, this is what you're supposed to do, people.
That's what, that's like
this is
what
how
your
your
body's
body
meant
works.
to do. Yeah.
I would have landed on the floor and landed ribs first on like a sharp metal edge.
I want to see who else is out there, you know?
I'm so upset that I'm missing out on this. All these roofs are sloped down and you're balancing on a ridge that is this thick. I could like mess up and get hurt on the 4th day of my 3-month trip.
So when you start doing parkour, and my mum was telling me about this, you'll walk down the street and just see the world differently.
I believe I'm capable of certain things in the sport and I want to prove myself right.
I want to be better than all the boys because they suck and they're stinky, bro.
We're not very good.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how long you've been training or who you are or what you've done in parkour. Everyone's inclusive. Anything in life that you do for the first time is going to feel a little bit like weird because you haven't done it before. You actually don't know what it's supposed to feel like.
Oh, well, this is the Around the World podcast. Good to have you here. We're talking parkour today and free running. And we have Kirschner and Alice Tanaka. They're both, I would say, rising stars of Sydney parkour scene. Alice, you did very well. 2023, it was in motion 3.
Yes.
And you took 3rd place in intermediate skill. Against the boys, by the way.
Against the boys, yes.
2nd place, same competition, 2nd place as well, women's freestyle.
Yes.
And 1st place in women's speed.
Yeah. I was
So-
very happy with the speed. Yeah.
I mean, 3 medals in one day.
Got,
Over 3 days. 3 days.
got all of
One
them.
medal a day.
Yeah. Got a
Collected
first,
all
second,
of
and
them.
a third.
Yeah.
All of the medals.
It's a good enough pace, I would say. And then you came back hard in 2024.
Yeah.
It was in motion 4. And you did in 16 and under in skill. Also with the boys.
Yeah.
3rd
the boys.
place.
3rd. Again, yeah.
And there was a lot of people competing. And Che, you did in 2024 in motion 4, 2nd place in 16 and under in skill, and 2nd in 16 and under in style, which also means that you guys shared a podium, by the way.
Did we? Was that
did,
for
in skill.
2024?
Yeah, in skill.
Sick.
Yeah, I got 2nd. You got third.
Yeah. Nice. Very good.
No, we're pretty stoked. Pretty happy with that.
And on top of all of that, like parkour is not just your only thing. You, Che, doing filming, you're doing drones.
Yeah.
Like one will, like,
I do.
this list go on. Like we're going to talk about some of that today. And you, Alice, you're also an artist.
Yes, I like art a lot.
And you currently like finishing school and dealing with all of the...
All the excitement. Yeah. Just traveling, doing that. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, speaking of traveling, this guy.
Oh, bro. This whole year.
I was all over his Instagram. He did big Euro trip.
Yeah.
It was like 5 countries or something.
I mean, yeah. What was it? I went to Oslo in Norway. I went to Berlin in Germany. I went to Paris, France. I went to Barcelona, Spain, and then I spent a lot of time in England. I went all around London, Brighton, Bristol, and then I went into Italy for a little bit of time for Kings of the Concrete, a little town called Vieste. It's like a little coastal town, which is beautiful. It's awesome location. And then I went one more time back to Paris for one specific jump, which we can get into later. But
We'll explore that.
I went a lot of places. I was gone for 3.5 months. It was very sick.
Just even the concept of traveling somewhere for a jump. It's I want to talk about
I went
that
there
as well.
twice.
Yeah. The commitment, it's there.
Yeah. No, I was just like the fact that happened. I was able to leave the country. I mean, I'm still 17. At the time, I was only like not even halfway through the year of being 17 yet. And like to be able to leave by myself and like, there were people overseas I knew either from like, Dom and Fletch, who are friends of mine from Sydney, who I train with like frequently. But even then I wasn't with them all the time. And I did like really enjoy that sense of freedom. Like, wow, I can like do all these things myself, even in countries like France and Spain where like they don't speak English and I don't speak French or Spanish. So it was cool to kind of be like, oh, wow, I have a sense of freedom and I'm able to like do things myself.
Yeah.
Because it was only a couple years ago I couldn't catch a train by myself. I was like too worried, like, oh, what if I get off the wrong stop? And now like catching planes by myself was awesome.
What a big change in life, hey?
Oh mate, it's nuts.
It's that exact age.
Yeah, and then getting to be able to then like show up to a spot and be around people that I've seen online, like I've never met before, but then like act like we've been friends for ages, because it's just like we all do the same sport, we all do the same thing. When it's we just mix very well. Luckily, the people that choose to do parkour are almost 100% of the time awesome people.
I really want to know if UL is going to join next year.
Yes, no, 100%. I've been planning this for about like 3 years or something. I've always been like, I'm going to go to Europe. I'm going to go Asia, which I'm going soon with my friends. That's just not parkour, but after school. But Asia, but Europe is like the biggest thing for me, because obviously you've got all the festivals, competitions like Che went to, and I will be there next year and meet everyone as well. It's insane. But like not even like for comps or anything, just to experience the world. And like,
come on,
you've seen so much.
Why not for comps?
Right, online.
do you know his story, that he went like also thinking maybe I'll not compete, and then we'll talk about that as well.
I looked that up and it's just it's insane.
Yeah, no, I mean it's just like I'm just stoked because like for a start, having Australians becoming like a more frequent for Australians to go overseas, because we live so far away from everything.
We're away, yeah.
And
overseas.
like I've been looking at all these people I met recently, and it's like they're like, oh yeah, I live so far away from all my friends in this other country. They take a 2-hour plane, and then they're there. It's like once every 2 months they're at another event where they see each other. They see each other like 8 times a year at different events. And for us, it's like 24 hours just to get to that side.
2 planes,
yeah, and then we have to get everywhere else. So we're very like lucky that we can even make it happen. But yeah, it is something that
I'm so happy that Sydney and Australian parkour scene is big, and like we have such
excellent.
incredible people like Dom and Fletch as well. I know now he's like very big as well.
He's blown up a lot. People have realized like, oh, he's been around, he's done some stuff, and he's going quite hard at the moment. But yeah, like I'm stoked that I was able to make it happen this year, and I think having that experience of kind of going about and being like, wow, I'm like fully by myself here, like it was sick. But I'm also really excited because like having you next year is going to be awesome, because like I know that there's a lot of people in Australia like yourself that would stand out overseas. Like there's a lot of people at that level that have been training for a long time and like just simply are objectively good at the sport. And I think it would be beneficial for a lot of Australians to get overseas and be like, if they have any interest in like being a part of the sport in more than just a practitioner level, then I think overseas is like the best segue into it.
Yeah, from personal experience, I truly believe that even going on comps, even knowing that you're not gonna take a first place or whatever, just being with the crowd and sharing that, like next year you will come back even harder.
Yeah,
and you will be
100%.
there also just to support others as well, and like 100%. Being in the run with very high, highly professional.
We'll have to go into that. But I'm just stoked. I'm just really stoked that people are interested in traveling. And I know that like you idolize a lot of people over there.
So many.
And I can't wait to see you actually training with them.
Yeah.
It's going to be really sick. And I'm stoked that you've made that choice to be like, I'm doing this big jump, this big decision to go overseas just after I turn 18.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it'll be
I'm
awesome.
So excited. It's going to be awesome.
I mean, as far as I know, you're like top 3 in Australia.
Bold. That's bold, but thank you. Yeah, no, I'm happy to. I want to see who else is out there, you know. It's been, like, Sydney's big for parkour, but I want to see, like, the other skill levels, because we've got currently only a couple women training that are, like, actually training. I do a women's class, which is, like, big too, but it's very enclosed in Apes.
Yeah.
So, like, to see the outdoor training, like, we've got Steph, we've got Michaela, but, like, overseas there are so many other women, and I'm just, like, keen to train with them. And the guys, they're pretty cool. But, for me, idolizing the female athletes, because it's me, obviously. So that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw like a couple of those. What was her name? It's an amazing athlete
From Italy? No, as in she competed in Italy? Yeah. Marta is sick.
Bro.
She's so good.
She's come out and she's just smashing everything. It's insane.
Yeah, we'll put a couple of clips right here.
Yeah.
She is like, she's just been in Spain for so long, just getting really, really good. And then, like, she comes out of Spain and wins Kings of the Concrete, like, first time in Kings of the Concrete. And, like, I think she just turned 19 recently. She's young person. and so strong, so powerful, is like doing really big moves that like I haven't really seen in women's comps before. Like it's very like unique style in that sense, very powerful, and like such a wide skill range and mental ability. Like scary things can do so many things that are mentally challenging, and it's very impressive. It was very cool to see. Great to meet her as well.
Sick.
Yeah.
Just gotta drop that in. I've met them. Yeah, I've met them. I know them. Yeah, right.
That's gonna be you next year.
Yeah, that'll be me. I'll know everyone next year. Trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be awesome. You're like, I'm just excited to see you actually get in that mix.
Yeah.
And like, obviously, it's all stuff that you know anyway. In terms of like, it doesn't matter how long you've been training or who you are or what you've done in parkour. Like, as if you enjoy training and you're a decent person, then everyone's inclusive.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to you to show up to like all these people that you're like, wow, they're so good.
Yeah.
And then you to do things and then be like going wow at you.
Yeah, they will definitely carry you. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I
wow.
mean? They will carry you.
Sick.
Because I think they are very good people.
100%.
It's like this paradox that the best boxers are the kindest people, you know?
Yeah, for their sport as well.
And
It's
top
very nice.
athletes also
They have confidence in their ability, so there's no reason for them to be like, oh, you're doing good, but I want to be doing good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very inclusive thing, and it's
like
so
not
awesome.
competitive at all. Either. Like
no, it's
when
just
you train with
celebrating everyone else's achievements.
Yeah.
You
no,
mentioned
100%.
Alice. You mentioned Apes.
Yes.
How did you like? First of all, how did you get into Apes and what it is, and also how did you get into coaching? Because you're an amazing coach, and
Thank you, yeah.
you're working a lot.
Yeah, I've been working a lot. So Apes, it goes back to, I think I was like 9 years old or something. I moved to Tempe, which is where I live now. And we were looking at the maps, and down the road, it said like Parkour Gym, Apes. And me and my family was like, we hadn't heard of Parkour at the time because that was like 8 years ago or something, when it was less big. But we were like, we'll try it out. You know, we're physical. It's fun.
Yeah.
We go into the gym, and like immediately the environment and the people just like hooked us. So me and my brother did it. He's 3 years older than me. And we trained like twice a week for the next, 8 years now, I guess.
Yeah, just casually for next day.
Yeah,
Just
just forever. But
years.
it was like the movement I found so intriguing, and like the whole sport and the concept of it's like an individual sport, but it's so like community based, right? You could attest to this. It's like
100%.
training alone, you can with parkour, it's just you,
Yeah.
but the vibes just aren't there. Like you need people to push you and like work with each other, because you build challenges together, you build lines together. It's all about community.
oh yeah.
But I liked it mentally because I only had to rely on myself, and no one else was relying on me to perform well or whatever. Because I play soccer, I used to play soccer, and it was a lot of pressure. I'd like, if I mess up one kick, I'm like, oh no, the whole team, like, frick.
That's
But
why I never did
No.
Yeah.
team sports,
like
team sports.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And you'll find most parkour athletes, they're not team oriented. Like, community's there, and we like people, but we
Yeah.
like to work on ourselves and for ourselves. Whatever.
Do you remember like your very first day you showed up at Apes and how it was like?
Yeah, so I did a first timers class, which is just first timers, and the boss of Apes, JP, he coached it, as he coaches a lot, and it was sick. We were just doing vaults, like all the basic stuff, very simple, and I was probably horrible. Like I could barely get over the boxes, but the movement was great, and like I remember actually distinctly when we were doing the wall runs, which is you just climb up a wall, you get up. I was doing like the lowest level because I was like small, right? But it took me like 10 tries to get up, and I did the worst climb up. You know, when you see the kids, they do the elbow, they like push themselves up. And I came away from that first time. So it was 2 hours. I had bruises and like cuts here, but I got up the wall and I was like, hell
But
yeah.
you did it, yeah.
Yeah. And that achievement as well was just like one of the best things you can get in parkour. Like, because it's like, it's sort of addictive. Like
100%.
you get a challenge and you're like, okay, what's the next one I can do? Like, where else can I go from there?
There's no cap on like, oh, I've done this, so now I'm done. Like there's
Yeah.
always another thing to do. You're never going to be at a loss of like, oh, what can I do next?
It's so extensive. And there are so many parts of it. It's like you got bars, jumps, walls, and it's like free running now, I guess, is part of parkour. So yeah, you
Well,
can go
huge
endless.
kudos to JP then.
No,
that
he got us in. Yeah. It was great.
Yeah, awesome guy.
But by the way, JP, we need to hang out. Come over at some point.
Yes.
Yeah, no, JP is awesome guy. Like really just great person, great friend. And like he's really created something special. And what we have at Apes is like it's just great. The whole atmosphere, everyone that comes in ends up, you know, happy that they're there and they leave happy that they came.
And that's the only place. That's that's the most surprising thing. That's the only place.
It's the only parkour,
and it's
parkour
good.
dedicated place.
I really want to hear his story, like how he created it, how he decided, and like what was the challenge and all that. I think it's a big story.
Yeah,
like it's
100%.
worth telling.
It's worth speaking to him about. And there's been so many things that happened over the years that like could have hindered it. And it's still open. I think like it's the only gym I can think of that's like a specific parkour gym that is currently open in Australia.
Yeah.
And it's been open for how many years? Like
It's 14 years
14
now.
years it's been open.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing. Like rent in botany is insane.
No, it's
Yeah.
It's there've been ups and downs. COVID kind of cooked us, but it's okay. We're back. But yeah, he was so young as well when he started it. So like you can just see he had the vision for it. And it actually originally started as like a martial arts center, and then it turned into parkour, and we sort of got rid of the martial arts. But yeah, it's interesting how that went. But yeah, because it works closely with like mental discipline, which is how we talk about parkour sometimes.
Yeah.
And how we say like 50-50 physical and mental. And how breaking those mental barriers is like half the battle with anything you do.
100%.
Isn't it a paradox that people from the outside, by default, they perceive parkour as something very rebellious, and people are just like, "Oh, I can jump off the roof, that's it." But like from the inside, it's the complete opposite. You're actually like strong mental game. You're outworking your self-doubt. You're prepping for big jumps, and it's not about big jumps only. So
No, it's a very important thing to bring up. I mean, like a lot of people just perceive it as like, well, this inherently has like a higher risk because you're jumping over big things on concrete, whatever it is. But again, similar, like I always talk about how rugby is almost more dangerous in a sense because you can't choose what other people are doing, but I choose every risk I put myself into. And if you're in parkour, I know people that have been able to train for like a decade and have stayed out of injury. You don't have to go above waist height wall if you don't want to. To the point where if you fall, you know how to roll, then you can kind of stay out of injury. It's always possible, but you're able to avoid it almost 100% of the time. And you don't even have to stay at a really low level. There's been some people that have got to world class and had like no major injuries. So there's a right way to do it, but everyone does it a slightly different way.
Yeah, I mean, like you talk about, oh, it's the most dangerous sport. That's what people and parents perceive it as. And I get really annoyed because, like, I've been doing it for 8 years, as we said, and, like, the worst injury, maybe, like, a shin, like, you roll your ankle. But, like, you've been doing it for, 2 years, really hard.
Just over 2 years.
Training consistently nearly every day, and the injuries are minimal.
Yeah, I mean, I've luckily been able to stay pretty good. Yeah, I had, like, a couple rolled ankles.
Oh, I know one of your injuries. Funny enough, you got injured before the comp on a warm up, and
I remember.
And also not your fault. You just like some other person just stumbled into you, and you just also like rolled an ankle or something.
Yeah, it was.
And that's the craziest thing. You can be like a top parkour athlete. You just like walk down the mall and just like slip, and that's it.
a lot of athletes I know their worst injuries have been when they're not training, because when you're training, you once you've developed a couple habits, you very naturally like focused on this one thing. And when your focus is 100% or like mostly to one thing, you're going to be able to avoid possible like mess ups. But yeah, on that specific example, I was just like getting ready to do competition. I was maybe 3 months into training.
Yeah, very early.
Yeah, or just started. I had an extensive background in freestyle trampoline. So I knew how to flip. I knew like aerial awareness. I could usually avoid landing on my head. Yeah. But like I didn't know parkour yet. And on like the easiest part of my run, I just slightly overdid a dive roll on the ground. I winded myself and somehow it messed up my hip flexor and I wasn't able to compete. And I didn't know that it actually meant a lot to me to compete. But the whole rest of the day I was so disappointed.
Obviously, you were prepping for this. I remember that. Yeah. You were prepping for a very long time.
It sucked. But yeah, this is part of the game. I mean, like, if you get injured, it obviously sucks, but a lot of athletes now, myself included, it's like getting injured isn't like, oh, it hurts. It's like, how long can I not train now?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It's like, a lot of athletes like Henry Barsley got injured the other day. Yeah. He shinned himself pretty bad, but he's literally just been trying to get back. And you'll see him. He's probably not supposed to be, but he's doing things on one leg.
He was jumping with me yesterday.
Trying to get back to it, which is probably not the doctor's orders, but it's all about how soon can we get back.
Yeah.
And
he's quite young, right? How old is
100%. He's 17 now. Or just just about to turn 17 in December. Yeah. So yeah, he's still young and he can he's very skilled kid. He's been doing it for a long time, or at least as far as like for someone his age. So yeah, big up Henry. Like he's done some great things, and I just hope that he can stay out of injury because I want to see him do some sick things. But I mean, even for yourself, I mean, like obviously you've luckily been able to stay out of like major injury, but like what about like wear and tear? Have you had like things that you've had to work through?
Yeah, no. So I've got recently, actually, like a month ago or something, my knee started to play up, and it was patella tendonitis, which is this gross thing every parkour athlete might get. It's called like jumper's knee. So the overuse of the impact on the knee, it like inflammates the tendons. I don't really know, but it hurts. But I went to the physio as soon as I could, and I've been doing rehab every day, and it's nearly 100%.
And it's reversible, completely reversible.
Yeah,
right?
100%. So I just strengthen the muscles around it, and then we're sweet. So happy to get back to it. Yeah, it wasn't like an injury like that.
Yeah.
It was just a bit of.
This is the thing. Like even when you have good habits of like training, and maybe you're not even overtraining, you can still like. Some things can happen a little bit too much on one leg. Say you like have a very minor bruised heel or something, and you're trying to protect your foot, so you put too much on the other leg, and maybe you don't get injured, but over time using one leg more than the other, it throws off your balance.
Can be in any sport.
Of course.
And also just some people like over 40, they get the same problem. And they get it for completely the opposite reason because they're
not doing enough.
Yeah. No, it's definitely something that can happen, but it happens in everything. If you get wear and tear and you don't address it or change the way you train.
I mean, there is like, to be fair, there is some sports where this is like inevitable evil that sometimes can be irreversible. So for example, professional ice skating, the people who compete for ice skating, they have huge problems after like 50, but they kind of commit to this wear and tear, to this type of sport. But I would say parkour is not on that list. You can be very healthy and safe. And
Absolutely. There's as with anything, you can overdo it and get to a point where later on in life you're paying it back. But again, if you want to just do parkour as like a fun, casual thing, way to socialize with your friends, way to get some exercise, be fit, develop some skills, you don't have to push danger. You can keep everything at a street level, and you can stay out of injury. You can stay safe. And
let's talk about how can you get into a parkour after a little break.
Yeah,
we'll be back. All right, we're back. It's very hard to explain how it feels to try active or freestyle sports for the first time, but I'll do my best, so bear with me. There was this amazing movie called Equilibrium with Christian Bale. It's a dystopian society where people just decided to be safe. They're going to take this drug that suppresses all their emotions. And it kind of worked to some degree, but after some point, it started to have its consequences. And so one of the best scenes is in this movie where the main character, he sees that something is wrong and he decides to stop taking this drug. And I think it's next morning that he wakes up and he, for the first time, sees like the sunlight and he can smell the rain. And I don't know how they did it, but you can like see in this movie how his mind wakes up. And in reality, like the reason why you're alive right now is because your ancestors for several thousands of years survived, not just because they were smart, but also because they used their bodies to some extent and they built a relationship with their fear and they controlled it and they tested their abilities and they got better and better. And so half of your DNA is encoding that. And naturally, when you try something like this for the first time, be it trampolining, wall running, parkour, or free running. Yeah. So it kind of just wakes up this thing inside of you. And some people think it's just like because kids want to be active. But in reality, I personally saw the biggest change in adults when they tried for the first time. And this change is tremendous. It improves their mental. They suddenly got energy. So yeah, I would actually like to talk about how someone gets into parkour right now. Like, what do they do tomorrow? How can you get there?
Yeah, well, I would say there are a lot of facilities once you like get into the like scope of parkour. If you research it, first thing you search up in Sydney, if you search up parkour, it will be Apes because that's the only gym, as we said before. And we run a lot of things like first timers, whatever, which is how I started. So that's a good way to start. A gym is a very safe, enclosed environment, and that's where like you'll see all the mats and you'll feel safe, right? But outside, we've got Sydney Parkour, which is like doing really good right now. I know Carl's picked up a lot. And they do monthly jams and weekly trainings, stuff like that. And you come into it, and as we said before, community is like excellent. So you will always be supported, and they just like people will always be there to help you out. Like you can say, if we see anyone training who's new, we'll go up to them, we'll be like, how's it going? And then you help them progress slowly or like start, right?
Yeah.
And same as Apes, we have structured classes, so obviously you have to help them.
Yeah. 100%. It's a fairly global thing, in fact, where all the communities know that they want this sport to grow. And anytime someone comes in, we try to nurture that new thing of like, oh, I'm trying this thing. I'm kind of worried. I don't know what it's like.
Where can you find it? Like if I want to, like if I'm, I don't know, in France or in Sydney, like what do I do?
So the first thing would be you can go on something like Facebook and just look up whatever city you're in, parkour. So say Paris parkour, London parkour, Sydney parkour. And sometimes there will be like a chat that comes up or a certain like a community group that they make. So you can join the community, and anytime something happens, they will make posts. Obviously on Facebook and stuff, a lot of this is like made in 2012 and like hasn't been used in ages. But also if you know anyone that has traveled before, or you get into your local community and then you plan on traveling, a lot of people will have been in contact with people overseas. Also, the social media outlook for this is perfect. You can essentially just see, if you see anyone training, then you can message them, and we're always open to like bringing people in. But yeah, Facebook is one. You can also post out online. Try to look at, even on Google Maps, just look up like parkour gym or anything like this. If there's a local one, it'll come up. Otherwise, look into the sport. Look into the athletes that are in your city. So say for us, we have Dom, who's a very international guy. And now like I'm friends with him. And if I go overseas and I'm going to a city I haven't been before, I don't know anyone there, then I have someone that has gone overseas. I'm very lucky for him to be able to like, I can put you in contact with everyone.
Yeah.
Obviously not everyone can do that. But I'll use Sydney as an example. You can either come straight into Apes, and you can start with just a first timers class, see how you enjoy it. See if you like the people there. You can do like a membership where you pay weekly, and then you can come in like a certain amount of open sessions or classes, depending on what one you get. But then say in Sydney Parkour, you can get through the Facebook group or onto the the WhatsApp chat. And then anytime people go out training, they'll message the chat, say, hey guys, we're going training. They'll put a location pin. Say we're training here at this time tomorrow. And then if you're in the chat, it's an open invite. It's not like a closed group.
Yeah.
If someone says we're going out training, you can go join, and there's no pressure to already be good. It's just everyone having fun.
And what to expect? Like, is this locations are something like very dangerous, or like what's the usual location would be?
Usual location for like a group training is usually somewhere around street level. I mean that we have a very like extensive different type of spots in Sydney, and overseas. I mean the spots are just crazy as well. I mean it depends where you are and the architecture there.
Yeah.
But usually they're almost 100% of the time at a spot there are multiple challenges that are beginner level. There will always be something for you to do no matter what skill level you're at. Unless you go with like a group of very, very experienced guys who are like filming a project and they're going on the roofs of London or Paris.
Highly likely it's not going to be in the same group. It's going to be a different WhatsApp chat.
They will make their own group and say we're going out filming for this.
So like highly likely you'll end up in a more public group and more of the trainings there, it's going to be more casual.
100%.
And Alice, like from perspective of the coach, because you're teaching, do you see any difference on how you teach adults or kids when they first show up?
Yeah, so often I'll notice kids are 100% more like into it. They're just running around. They're crazy, right? They have a lot of energy. Adults are so reserved. Like they will not run fast at a box. They will not want to jump very high or far. And you really have to like break the barrier of when you're safe, you don't leave the ground, right? You have to say, you have to put yourself out there. You might fall over, you might do this, but it'll be okay. We'll show you the ways you'll be okay. And then you'll see them slowly come out of that shell. And like I've coached a bunch of adults and kids, but the adults I've coached, you see in their like overall demeanor, they change. They're okay with falling. They're okay with like often it's very scary thinking I might fall and then I'm like embarrassed, right? I'm sure we've all felt that. And then over time when you train with parkour people, everyone's silly, everyone's falling, and it's like you're not afraid to do that anymore. And then you'll notice these people, they come and they often will just slowly walk up to a box, for example, and
put their
approach
hands on it.
Yeah, hands, and then they get their knees on the box and they're very slow and safe, and which is fine because we want to get used to the obstacles.
Very mindful, very demure.
Yeah, exactly. But then often like I'll put in exercises where it's like run as fast, like sprint, and just jump as far as you can onto a mat. I don't care like what you're doing.
With it.
Just send your body and be used to not being in control of everything.
Yeah.
Because that's parkour. It's like at the start you don't know what to move, when to move. Like your kinesthetic sense is not as developed. And then over time with trampolining as well, which is I don't trampoline. And so every time I get on, I think I'm going to fly off the other way, and I have. But it's about
not
knowing.
Here, though.
No, land here. No, but it's just knowing where your body is, and over time it develops, right? And when you move, so it's like if Che's giving me advice on like a twist or a cork, which I'm learning, and he's like, bring your hips a bit higher and like pull in your arms. I know how to do that with my body, and I know how it feels because I've been training for so long.
Yeah.
But adults often, I'm like, okay, we go up to the box, we put one leg there, we put one hand there, and then you bring the other leg through, and they'll take so long to do that because they sort of disconnect their mind and their body. And especially if they get out of sport at a young age, or like they stop when they're like my age, which is like 17, they won't do that again until if they pick up parkour. And it's very foreign to them, I think, that movement and that understanding of their body in a space or certain movements.
100%. Yeah.
Like you can, what things you can actually do with your body.
Yeah.
There's so many things that we're not using our bodies in like a normal regular life to do all these movements.
Of course. And anything in life that you do for the first time is going to feel a little bit like weird because you haven't done it before. You actually don't know what it's supposed to feel like. You're like, is this feeling I'm feeling? Even in emotions, like, am I supposed to be feeling this way? And there's no one way to do it. There's no one like way that you should be feeling or doing the thing. It's just about being open to taking in information. And I think...
fear included, right?
100%. It doesn't matter what level of parkour you're at, you're going to get to a point where you feel a bit like confused or frustrated, where you want to try something and you trust, say, the advice of the coach, but also you're like, well, naturally your brain is going to tell you to not do it because you haven't done it before. And but the thing is, if you stay like, I haven't done this before, then you're never going to do anything else.
Yeah.
So it's important to trust when you see us show the technique and then explain the technique. If you're open to listening and taking in information, then you can try it yourself as fast or slow as you want. And this is the thing that naturally falling over to everyone is kind of a bit like worrying because usually when you fall over as a kid, you get grazed elbow, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so when you're older, you're like, well, I want to avoid getting hurt because it hurts more than when I was a kid. I don't just bounce.
Yeah. So, recovery takes a bit longer when you're older.
Absolutely.
Maybe a week more.
A week more. So you look like we try to tell people, hey, let's learn how to fall and be confident so that when we go and do something else where you're like, it's something you've never done before and you could fall over, rather than not trying it because you're like, oh, if I fall, I get hurt. You can go, I'm going to try it. And if I fall, I'm going to be fine anyways.
Yeah. That's actually one of my favorite topics about parkour and freerunning, that even if like a person would do a few sessions and it's like parkour specifically, maybe it's not for them, they want to try something else. First of all, you get the learning, like you learn how to fall. So you're in your day-to-day life, you're just so much better than everyone else with falling. And also, once you did this exercise of walking into a group of people who are passionate about their sport, and your initial perception that it's going to be this way, it was actually way better, and you know how it looks like. This will open you to this experience that now you can try this and try that, and you're going to walk into these rooms and you're going to be so much more comfortable.
Yeah, 100%.
So there is no such a thing that you kind of lost 2 days of your life or whatever, how long you've been doing that. It's just not a thing.
Always a net positive.
Always.
Yeah.
It's so universal, like the skills from parkour and like every extreme sport, I think.
Oh, yeah.
It's the mental that you notice a lot, and then the physical, like falling. Like I'm very not coordinated. Like, despite what I do, I'm like bumping my elbows constantly, whatever. And like when I fall, I just like, you're fine, you roll. Like, I noticed this with other athletes like Sam
Mm-hmm.
and me. When I played soccer and I was running for a ball, whatever, and I get tripped, I'm flying towards the ground and I just do a roll. I parkour roll because that's like just what you do. And Sam does that with his sport too.
With
I've seen,
basketball,
yeah. And you're just safe. And everyone on my team was like, "What the hell, Alice? Like, what are you doing? How'd you do that?" And it's just like in your mind that when you fall, you keep yourself safe. And then learning those skills, which is why
And you're like, this is what you're supposed to do, people.
That's what, that's like what your body's meant to do. Yeah, 100%.
This
so
is how
like,
it's designed.
yeah, so I love that about parkour. It's just you change and then you're just more safe, I think. Like, it's not dangerous. You get better at falling. You get better at keeping your body safe, yeah.
The only reason I think why we call this extreme sports, like this class of different kind of sports, is only when we get to this like super top level where you consciously expose yourself to this big challenges. Could be like, I don't know, in snowboarding, you're taking a massive jump with a lot of spinning. In parkour, you can be jumping off one roof to another where the price you may pay is your life, literally. But it's just one side of the extreme, and there's only few people who are there, and most, like the majority of people who exercise that sport, they are in the safe side actually, because they improve the control, they improve the ability, and they learn their bodies.
Of course.
So
And it's a very universal. Fear is a tool if used correctly. It can be 100% against you, and it's created in the unknown. If you are uncertain about something, you don't know how something will happen or go down or what could happen. You don't know what the possibilities are. Fear comes in. But I always think of everything in life, but especially in parkour, as an energy transfer. And for me, when I have fear, this is energy, and I can use this to my advantage. But if I let it affect me too much, then it can negatively affect me.
Yeah.
And that can lead to things that aren't good. But a lot of people see the worst possible outcome of what can happen, which obviously it's like life happens. People have been struck by lightning. It's very, very, very unlikely, but you can. I'm not saying that you're like definitely not going to fall over in parkour, because you probably are. But the idea is that you're going to be able to trust yourself and get to a point where you are able to avoid these things, and it comes naturally. Like when Alice or Sam rolls, when they trip over in a sport, they don't think, okay, now I'm going to roll. It just happens.
Yeah.
And then you go straight back to defending whatever it is. You'll get better at whatever sport you're doing. But to me, when people are saying, why do you take these risks? I mean, the margin for error is so small. If you like slip up just a little bit, then you die or you get severely hurt. To me, I go, well, look, how many people drive every day? And if you're on a highway, you're going 100 kilometers an hour, and you move your steering wheel this much, literally this much.
Yeah.
You could go into another car. You could flip off the side. But people know that when you drive, you just don't do that. Yeah. It's the same as in parkour. When you get to a point of sufficient movement and you're confident within yourself, and you're doing moves that you've repped out in a safe, controlled environment.
When you're there, you're ready already.
Exactly. And then you can get to that point where you go, but why would I do this stupid thing? Just as in the car, it would be stupid to turn into someone. So you check, whatever it is. And I think it's literally just perceived as this, as much less people do parkour than drive cars. Yeah. And so it becomes natural to just like not fall on your face.
It's a rarity.
Is avoidable.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely something that you can avoid if you put some training and some effort into it. And I think everyone should learn it. Even if trying to develop like tricks, you want to do a flip or whatever, even if you don't care about that, I think everyone should learn, even if you're an athlete or not. If you fall down the stairs, I hear all the time, they fall down the stairs, they break their wrist, whatever happens, it's very avoidable. I think everyone can avoid it. And I hope that everyone will at least try.
It's almost like parkour should be taught at school as like a safety class, you know, when they teach you how to cross the road and stuff.
Yeah, look left and right. No, learn how to do a roll.
Yeah, but I'm serious. Like, I think that's a very good idea.
Yeah, no, I've said this for years.
Like basic parkour at school. Let's go. That's very good.
Where parkour originated from, it was a way to keep the French army fit. And it was so that they could stay safe.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So parkour, I forget the actual French pronunciation, but it comes from like maybe a century ago, something like this, where they got the French army to stay fit and strong.
Yeah.
And they were able to move across obstacles. So parkour, for those that don't know, parkour at its core is A to B efficient movement. Obviously, over the years, it's changed to do like super cool tricks around A to B to C to D to whatever.
Yeah.
But at
Can
its
I add a flip to that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what it's moved to.
But this is the thing, it kept them fit and it kept them safe, so that rather than just falling and then like being hurt, they fall and they get back up. And this is especially important when you get older, because as a kid you can kind of fall and bounce and be okay. But yeah, this is where it originated from, and I think that if the army did it and it helped them to protect their country, I think you should protect yourself.
Yeah.
And it's something that everyone can do. It wouldn't take a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the like the biggest, scariest thing you did in parkour or otherwise? Like,
Biggest mental challenge ever.
Just generally, or mental challenge ever, I just did the HSC. Don't recommend. It sucks.
is that a school exam?
Yeah, so it's the end of school exams in New South Wales, and it's just a bunch of exams. They're like 3 hours long, so I'm sitting in this exam.
Did you pass?
I get the results in like 20 days or something. I don't know, a month. Anyway,
Okay,
that was pretty
let
scary.
us know in comments later.
I will. No, so that's scary. But I would say in the world of like physical parkour, there was a jump at Apes, which I've been wanting to do, or like I've seen everyone do forever since I was small. And it was, when I did it, it was like the easiest thing in the world. I'd overhyped it in my head so much. And I'd done like 100,000 preps. It was from the pillar to the pillar. Yeah. And it, like, when I do it, it looks so easy. And I'm like annoyed that it took me so long. But just something as simple as that is like, you set yourself a goal and then you train to it and you do your reps, you do your things, and you know in your mind you're going to do it perfectly. Even though you have these doubts, I'm like, what if I do this? What if I do that? I know that like if I undershoot it, I can drop into an arm jump. If I overshoot it, I can just jump to the mat, like whatever. But yeah, no, I'm still ready to push myself more because I have a lot more goals in mind, as you know. And now school's over. I can do that. Yeah. That was a big one. I like,
No,
sick.
you smashed that. I remember seeing it, and I know that it's like something that you could have done so long ago. But this is the thing for people that like train in a specific area for a certain amount of time. You can see a challenge of other people doing it, and maybe at the time when you first see it, you can't do it physically. But then years go by of you building it up in your head of like, this is really hard jump I've seen the best people do. And then you doubt yourself. Whereas if you get to the point where you just trust your ability, then you can do it. Because you see people that say have never come to Apes before, and they come in and maybe they're like still fairly new to the sport, but they did this specific jump like in 5 minutes because they hadn't built this like big wall in front of them of like, this is a hard challenge that only the best people do.
I definitely had one of those walls myself.
Yeah.
A lot.
Mental blocks happen all the time.
God, so many.
And it's an important thing. So yeah, like you smashed it, and it's always going to be harder to do a jump really good when you've built it up, but it also forces you to focus really hard to make sure that you avoid injury.
Yeah, like 0 errors. There was no injuries from that, like at all.
Yeah.
What was your biggest?
Yeah, you've done a lot.
I mean, I've been, especially the last like year and a half, I've been pushing myself quite hard to like almost weekly do something that really challenges me. So it's really hard because I just keep one-upping myself because I'm still so new. Like I'm still on that up curve of progression. I think the scariest thing I've ever done was actually you were there for. It was it's a move called a cat front pre. It's where you go up to a like a wall or a ledge or a handrail, whatever it is. You put your hands on the wall and you go over it forwards head first, and then you front flip over the rail, over a gap, and then pre means, if we ever say pre, it means precision. So it's a hit with the hands, a front flip, and a precision jump onto like a metal edge of like a cage.
Oh, so it's a precision landing.
The landing was pretty small as well.
Yeah, it was maybe like that wide. And on the other side of it, there was like, I would land on this landing, and then there was like a rail at knee height. And if I fell over this rail, it was like 4 meters onto like tree roots and stuff. It's not something you can like land safely.
Yeah.
So you were there, and you were like, he's going to be all right.
No, I knew it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took, 4 hours to send it or something? Not 4 hours, maybe like 3.
Similar. It was the scariest thing.
That's a very important thing to mention, that it's not like you just show up to a spot and you're like, oh, I'm massive, I'm just gonna jump it. It's like it takes prep, it takes mental prep, physical. You try same jump just on the ground, like to cover the distance and all.
Absolutely.
Because like for people who just like see stuff on Instagram, they think like
it was
you're
a
just
one-time.
like
you show up, you do a straight away.
and you just like maybe you run around the city non-stop and you just like jump to the things.
No, it's not like those POV videos of like the guys that wear the GoPro and you're running to school or something. No. It's not like this. And it was scary because obviously if I went too far, I fall for a long way. and the box was just tall enough. It was about like my rib height.
Yeah.
So if I didn't go far enough on my front flip, I would have landed on the floor and landed ribs first on like a sharp metal edge. Or
Yikes.
if I just went far enough but not quite, then I would have hit my shins, and that would have hurt a lot. Or I could have hit my face on it. There was so many possibilities, and this is the thing. It's very hard to 100% completely block out these like bad scenarios out of your head.
Oh, 100%.
It will always kind of come in at some point of like, oh, but what if this happens? I
Like
get
the
hurt.
intrusive thoughts.
Of
You
course.
stand there and you just see yourself. Well, for me, I see myself falling and doing this, and it takes such a long way of breaking these barriers to push them out of your head.
Do you have a
Like,
specific like exercise? Like how do you do that?
I do mental rehearsal, like visualization, which I find helps a lot. So I like, instead of seeing myself falling and like, I don't know, shinning myself, I'll imagine myself doing it perfectly, and like the feeling I'll get from doing it perfectly. Close my eyes and see myself do the jump or do the flip, whatever, and see it perfectly. And then when I do it, that's how I know it felt like. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm predicting I'm going to do it.
There's this thing called the skier paradox, when people say the skier going down the mountain and there's a bunch of trees, and if the skier is focusing on the trees, he will definitely collide with one.
Yeah.
But you need to look between the gaps.
In the gap. That's interesting, yeah.
That's the same.
It's very similar, yeah.
Same mindset. We're very similar in that regard. I've definitely learnt more recently, especially from someone like Dom, who I think has done this possibly the best ever. The art of seeing a jump, being confident in your ability to do it, and knowing your own physical limits, and knowing your own mental limits, that you're not going to halfway commit to the jump and then in the middle bail.
Yeah.
Bail meaning like halfway go, I don't want to do it anymore,
And
but
then
you're
move
already in
your,
the air. So this is the thing. I try to, same thing, close my eyes, see it. I try to think from a couple different point of views. I think firstly, what it will look like from my eyes. Like what will it look
POV,
like when I actually do it? How will it look? How will it feel? What will it, and it's very hard to see it vividly.
Yeah.
It takes some time. The second one is from like, imagine I've done it already and I'm looking it back on Instagram.
You're like filming, yeah.
So I can see the angle. This is why I like put someone somewhere with my phone and I look at the angle and I imagine myself doing it. And this really helps to create, again, fear is created in uncertainty or things that you don't know.
Yeah.
So I create the most vivid situation that I've already done the jump.
Yeah.
Because there's a saying in parkour called breaking the jump, which is where you do the jump the first time and that shows your brain that you can actually do it safely.
Or like watching someone else break a jump. Like you'll have 10 people doing a challenge and no one gets it for like 30 minutes, and then someone unlocks it and next 5 minutes everyone's done it.
Everyone's done it.
Yeah.
So it's like either for yourself or like a group. It's amazing. Like
I've been through that too.
Yeah. Breaking the jump is a very important thing. So yeah, this process of creating a scenario that even if something goes wrong, you are still okay, and never trying to visualize you messing up or actually getting hurt. You want no situation that is in your head that it's even possible that you get hurt.
Yeah.
Like this is really important, and I think this creating a situation you've already done it will help you with mental battles every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. There is another topic I really wanted to cover is like the goal setting and how you perceive your sport as a progression, because you talk a lot about how you like this many years in sport and this is your progress and all that stuff. There's this amazing book called Infinite Games by Simon Sinek. It talks about that there is two types of games. There is these games that we most used to as a term game, when there is a certain limit of time, there is certain rules how you can win or lose, and there is infinite games, which there is uncertainty. There is no certain limit of time that you don't know how exactly you should win or lose, and most things that we encounter in life or in business for same reason is infinite games. And purpose of infinite game is to be in the game. Is not there's even some online games you cannot win, right? Like you know what I mean? How do you win World of Warcraft?
So no, I never played it, bro.
Good for you. That's why you're doing sports. So speaking of that, I think that like obviously setting big goals and like thinking about like I want to do this massive jump in this country and like that's like the goal of my life. But how do you maintain this as more like an infinite game, and especially like talking about people dropping out of sports, because you're at this age, 17, about to turn 18. This is exactly when most people are dropping out. Like a lot of your mates right now, in 2 years, they're not going to be in the sport. And it's common for every sport. Like a lot of my people throw trampolining while running or mountain bike and whatever. Same thing. And at some point, some of them realize that they need to come back because they actually missing the half of their life. But some of them never come back. So what's the recipe? Like, do you have one? Does anyone have one?
To stay in the sport, for longevity?
Yeah.
I mean, what would your
I think
take
I would
be?
just say it's about like the internal motivation. So like if you, as you said, goal setting is always important. And I think for everything, even though in an infinite game or whatever you're talking about, there may not be like one clear goal for you. But in parkour especially, there's always things you have in mind. Like I'm sure we both have goals. Like I want to learn this trick or I want to do this jump, right? And I think that is one of the biggest forms of motivation. It's like the feeling you'll get from achieving that. And then even though you know like, oh, I might be happy when I get that, once you get it, you're like, okay, next thing.
What's the next
thing? There's never like the end. It's like if I do Manpower, I'll be happy, but like I can do more, right? So I think it's about that always reaching for more and knowing your body's capable of more. It's like, I think that's very important.
100%. I would absolutely agree with all of that. I think it's also important to realize that not everyone is the same, and where they stem and get motivation from is different for everyone. And so say for like someone like myself, I do set some goals that are like crazy, almost like people are going to laugh at me for setting these goals in terms of like, you're not going to do that. That's too hard. That's too crazy. That's too dangerous, right?
And people have said that to you and then you just did it.
Exactly.
It's just funny.
Right? This is the thing. It's been multiple times, even in the just over 2 years I've been doing it, that people have said, nah, you're not going to do that. And it does motivate me. Whereas some people, when they get put down, they lose motivation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's different for everyone. So I think setting some really big goals for certain people helps. I also think setting a lot of small, very achievable goals will keep you hooked, because these small wins, if you get one win every single time you train, even if the goal is, I want to train once a week, each time you leave the gym that once a week, even if you didn't do anything new, even if you just chatted with your friends, if you set a goal that is achievable for you and you consistently achieve it, then you will feel a sense of reward of like, hey, I kept to my word. I said I was going to do something and I did it. And I think this is like a really important thing for most people. And then in terms of like big goals, but achievable goals rather than like crazy, I think is also important, where you set like a big thing that currently, so maybe at the time when you set the goal, it's like, there's no way you could do it currently. But then you think, okay, if I train this skill set for 6 months, I'll be able to do it. And then when you reach this goal, just as like when Alice makes this trick or this jump that is quite easy for her, when you think about it for a long time, it does build up and it will become harder to do than if you just did it straight away. But if you set a goal that maybe you can't physically do, but 6 months in the future you can, then you'll go, okay, I'm still scared. I've been thinking about this jump for 6 months, but now I'm as physically ready as I can. And learning to trust, like I've put in the work. When you get to the point you're stood on top of whatever the jump is going to be, all the work should be done by that point. And if it isn't, then you won't trust yourself.
There,
exactly. And you need to only choose which situation to put yourself in. Because if you put yourself in a bad situation and you just convince yourself you've done all the work you need to, but you actually haven't, then it creates distrust in yourself, and then you won't trust yourself, and it'll be much harder to trust yourself again. And it'd be much easier to create a mental block, which takes a long time to get over.
That's your moment of truth, people.
Absolutely. It's really important. It's really important.
Yeah.
I also wanted to bring up in terms of like how different people process fear, even more expanded than how we break our fears. I think everyone feels this in a very different way. I think that a lot of people would rather do a jump almost straight away, like in the first 10 minutes before they get scared. So as I said, the longer you look at something, the more you build it up. And a lot of people, they get there, and if the first like 10 seconds they look at it, they go, yeah, I can do it. Before they even give their brain a chance to say, oh, but what if I fall? They've already done it.
They've gone.
And this is dangerous in a sense, but for specific type of people, it works.
Yeah, it's one way to do it.
Of course, and it's only for certain people. I think Dom does this very well because he knows his ability in and out. He like 100%, almost to like the finest detail, knows what he can and cannot do.
And it's a very like sharp line. It's like if he sees it and he can do it, he'll do it.
straight away.
And like when you're less certain about yourself, especially when you're new to parkour or new to any extreme sport, you'll know yourself less.
Yeah.
Right. So if you get there and you're like, I don't know, then it's like you can't do that tactic of
100%.
just doing it straight because you don't know.
Exactly.
It's almost one of the reasons why you would do extreme sports, to actually know yourself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
You learn so much about like
Yeah.
how you think,
The
and it-
brain, the work. How it
bro,
goes.
100%. Like, and you take these lessons to life where you identify what the goal is, and then you break it down into achievable steps, and then you say, once I've done all the steps, what do I need to do then? Because a lot of people, if you look at a challenge from the outside and without breaking it down, you just go, okay, I want to get to a job that pays a certain amount of money. In parkour, I want to do 6-meter dive front. Doesn't matter. If you look at it from the outside, you go, wow, that's really hard. But then if you start with like normal job or like small front flip and then go bigger, 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 you'll get there eventually. So again, say like I take a different approach most of the time. I'm trying to make sure my mental is very accurate. I understand what I can and cannot do. But I think I would rather spend more time looking at a jump to the point where I 100% understand like every little like difference in terms of height and distance, but be more scared when I do it. I'd rather but that I know the challenge, and that gives me confidence in like, even though I'm scared, I understand the jump. I know that even if I mess up, I know how to save it, and I know that I can almost be certain that I will do it well. So like, what are you similar? Do you?
Yeah, no, I definitely take longer. Like I'm not the one to just see it and go do it, because I have those intrusive thoughts of like, what if this? And that hits quite quickly if I'm looking at something. And as Shay said, like it does, say a jump, it does look bigger the more you look at it, which is another tactic. It's like, look at it, turn around, like go on a walk, come back and then do it if you're confident.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need time to process the jump, to think. Like often we'll go to a spot, we'll look at a jump and then come back in a week and do it after training a little bit. But yeah, I need to be like 110% certain, which is why I think I've avoided a lot of injuries. But a lot of people who have the mentality of like, just do it quickly, they progress like
Very
so
quick,
quickly. But then they also have risk of injury. So it's, you sort of got to toss it up.
Yeah. Pick your poison.
100%. This mentality is like, I don't think you can do it all the time, or at least most people can't. I think it's important that training at your between 65 to 75% capacity in terms of what you physically are capable of, and even less what you're mentally capable of. I think this is my opinion.
Yeah.
I feel that I would rather like train every day of the week and every day do thing that's like maybe like a bit over half what I can actually do in terms of difficulty. And then every once in a while, if I find a challenge that's like 95% of what I can do, then I can go, okay, I now treat this jump completely different to other jumps. I understand the risk is heightened because it's closer to my ability level. I don't think you should ever push your 100% because it makes the chance of mistakes so much higher.
Yeah.
But I think that if you are confident in yourself and you know that you're 100% able to do it, there's always the 3 questions that I ask myself before each jump.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I ask myself 3 questions before each jump, and I think this is really the most important things. And if you're someone that overthinks, the only question that should be asked.
Let's hit the questions.
First thing is, can I do this jump? Am I physically able to do this jump?
Physically capable. Your body can get you that far. Or,
Right,
or
so
do that
it's a
movement.
jump of a certain distance. Can I jump that far? First question. Or have I done this flip before? Whatever it is, can you actually do it? Second thing, very important, do I actually want to do this? Or why do I want to do this? If it's to tick off a goal or achievement or something you've been wanting to do for a while, great. If it's to get views on Instagram, maybe not. If it's a maybe, it's a no to me. If it's like, oh, I might want to do it, then no. And the third and final thing is, okay, I want to do it. I'm capable of doing it in terms of physically I can, but am I mentally there? If I jump and I take off and I'm over this drop, am I going to get intimidated once I've already committed and then half commit and bail?
So you assess your mental state as well.
100%. And that can be throughout the day in terms of how you've performed that day, how you've performed that month.
Can be a bad day.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, you get bad days all the time.
100%. And accurately analyzing this will create a situation of success.
So you have 3 questions.
Yeah.
You ask them, and if
any of them is a no or a maybe is a no. No is a no. It has to be, all of them have to be yes. And even then, most of these big jumps I've done, I ask all these questions. All of them are a yes straight away, no question. And I still take a long time to do it because I process it. I go, okay, I ask every question. if in every single possible scenario, can I come out okay? And even if it's yes, even if it's like, I'm so confident that I will do it perfectly, it's so hard to get you to like get yourself to do it. And it's hard to explain unless you've felt this.
Yeah, you'll feel yourself, you're like frozen. And a lot of the students I teach, it's a jump that I know they can do physically, they know they can do physically, but they're like, I can't move my body, I can't step off here to take the drop.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so hard to like tell that like irrational fear to shut off for a second, because it's weird to step off a ledge, drop down 2 meters to a mat, because of like instincts of whatever. You want to keep your body safe. You have to shut that off because you've answered those 3 questions or whatever, and force your body to take that step or take that jump. And then, that's how you'll find it. Because so many, like most of my students could be doing insane stuff, but it's the mental they need to grow, which is why it's like a mental discipline.
Yeah.
You call it, once you can control both physical and mental, you will go very far. You'll succeed.
100%.
Do all of that. Yeah.
I think mental is almost more than physical most of the time.
No, because physical is so easy to, like, say you're not physically ready, but you're mentally ready. Physically, just practice jumps 10 more times and then you'll feel ready. Like it's very simple on how to do it. Mental, it's more complicated. You don't understand it.
No two people are the same.
Yeah.
And there's no one way that will work for everyone ever. And this goes for in fear, and this goes for coaching as well. There's always going to be certain ways to provide information to someone and every time they'll take it differently. I think it's important as a coach to be able to identify what type of person you're dealing with here. Are they more dominated by like, they can like physically can do things, but they're scared they can't? Or are they someone that like are super brave and can do this really scary thing, but maybe they're not physically there? And that both of those, if you try to do the jump, I don't think you're ready. And it creates a situation where the likelihood of injury is much higher. And then you create a mental block if you get hurt, and then you try to come back and it doesn't work. And to me, this isn't even parkour. I don't want parkour to have a name of like, oh, these people get injured, and then it puts away like a parent looking at putting their kid into parkour. They see someone gets hurt, then it takes them away from that. When I think parkour would be positive for like all kids to do, and it really like makes me upset when people are like sketchy in parkour. They go to do something that they like obviously cannot do, but they're like, oh, I just want to do it because I think I can do it and not get hurt.
Yeah, they're lacking a sports attitude. So like normal athlete, one thing that the athlete learns really quickly is how to approach the training, how to build a relationship and trust with their coach, and like all these things, and how to maybe disassemble complicated thing into some steps and trust themselves. So if a kid or an adult, for the same reason, like they approach a sport as just something that's a barrier they need to jump over, it's not exactly going to work. Mostly I think that's the people who are getting hurt.
Yeah.
100%.
I also have this question, like when you progressing and setting goals, like are you comparing yourself to other athletes or
That's a good question.
like but for real, like like what's your thing? Does it help you? Do you avoid that? Or like I think it's a personal, like everyone's different.
Yeah, I mean everyone is different, but me personally, it's I had a thing. I was training every Wednesday in a class, and one of my friends he was a boy who went to my school, but we were around the same age. And I know I was probably like 12 or 13 at the time. But every challenge that scared me, if he ever did it, I would make myself do it, because I was like, I cannot drop below this level. Like I've been training longer than him, so I was like, he can't get better than me. And every time I did a jump, he would make himself do it. It was very funny because like I'd see him do it and I'd be like, why'd you do that? Because now I have to do it. I'm scared. But I did it and I progressed so much.
Did he know? Did he know though?
I think he did. Like, I was like yelling at him. I was like, don't do it. Please, I don't want to do it. But then I'd always do it. So like, I think like comparing yourself, it's probably not the best for the long run. But if you have a healthy competition with someone, and even like with my best friend, we used to run and I'd be like, I ran 5K today. And she's like, well, I ran 6. So then I'd run 7. So it was like, I think a healthy amount of competition will always benefit you as long as you don't push yourself too far because you're blinded by this. Like, I need to be better than them. But it is good motivation, for me at least, because I want to be better than all the boys because they suck. And they're stinky, bro.
They're not very good.
Yeah. I'm like, there's no way this guy. Like, So that worked for me, yeah. But that's
Yeah, right. No, I agree as well. I think again, it just definitely is this different for everyone. I don't think there's one right way. I would say as rule of thumb, it's good to not like say, oh, but this person is doing this. That means I should be doing this thing as well.
That's what I was falling into. And I was like, we'll see.
And then you can get yourself out. But I think for myself, I try not to compare at all. My training motivation is I believe I'm capable of certain things in the sport and I want to prove myself right. Like I believe I know myself. I believe I know if I put in a certain amount of work, I can do certain things and I want to do that. But I also am similar. I think there's also a difference between like comparing yourself to your like people that have been training way longer than you or like just simply, again, progression isn't linear. So comparing yourself to someone that maybe just started but is progressing really quick off the bat doesn't mean that you're doing bad. It just means that they are different and they progress differently. And to myself, I think that having a training partner is more what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think it ties in similar, that friendly competition. For a lot of the people that have become the best in the world, the two people, if they become best in the world, they were friends, it's usually because they were training partners. And what this means that they usually, when they're training, most of the time they're with that other person. And they train so much together that they completely, like confidently know their friends' abilities.
Yeah.
And they are able, without being scared because they are doing the challenge that's dangerous, they can think about someone else and think completely logically.
And help them to assess.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So say, look, I know your ability. I know how good you are. So I can tell you 100% you can do this jump, but you have to be ready to do this jump. Don't just take my word. It will really help. Anyone that knows your ability will be able to tell you accurately when sometimes in your brain, it'll tell you that you can't when you in fact can.
Yeah, I've had this a lot as well. Like you've told me I can do jumps before and I've got coaches, which is why I think it's good to work like closely with your students or your coaches in knowing each other's abilities, as you said. Because if I hear everyone in the room be like, Alice, you can do this jump, I'm like, okay, even more positive reinforcement. Like they know I can do it. I know deep down I can do it. And then you're just, better space to send it.
100%.
Send it safely.
Send it mentality is a very
a bit dodgy.
tricky thing.
Yeah.
But I think like it's good because it, even with people that I perceive as very like accurate, like clear-headed in terms of doing a challenge, even Fletch, who was over in America a couple months ago, he went to a college campus. There's like a lot of classic spots there that people have been hitting for the last decade. And he went up to this challenge, which is a upwards cap pre, which is essentially run at a wall, hit it with your hands, and you go up onto a wall that's higher than the wall that your hands go on.
It's insane.
It's like crazy hard.
Yeah.
He put in his caption, if he hadn't seen footage of other people doing this jump, he wouldn't even, when he got there, he would have got there and gone, no, I can't do this.
It's not possible. Yeah.
And
not for humans.
Exactly. But this is what breaking the jump is. And the fact that he's seen other people do it, he's seen it be done. He was able to go, okay, I know it's possible. Even if he knows like, oh, physically I can, seeing it happen, even on video, is such a crazy different thing, which is why I think training in a gym on like soft surfaces and seeing yourself do it, like filming yourself landing it, even in a foam pit, but you know what it looks like when you do it, taking it outside to sand or grass or even concrete, you know how you do the trick already. It just, you have to take more precautions because the chance of like, if you slightly land a little bit wrong, you can twist your ankle rather than just like falling in a foam pit.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is definitely something. It's less about comparing yourself to others and it's more about recognizing actually what you're capable of.
Yeah, definitely.
Controversial question. If you were not doing parkour, what would you do?
Me personally, what would I do?
Yeah.
I would be a loser. No, I wouldn't be a loser. I would, as you said before, I'm into art a lot. I like art. I think I would probably like, not pursue it as in like become an artist because like realistically, like the money.
Why not?
I mean, maybe, we'll see, but I like it as a hobby. I think I would have maybe kept doing soccer or something. Like I like to be active. If I don't have exercise every day, I feel gross at the end of the day. Like I want to be moving. I can't sleep if I don't exercise. But I'd find something physical to do and I don't know, maybe I would have done better at school instead of
we don't
being out training stuff.
It's fine. It's fine.
That's not what I wanted to do, so it's okay. But yeah, I think I would be completely different, to be honest. Like, it's helped my confidence so much in like, I've known myself better, I know my mind better and what my body's capable of, and I've sort of respected myself more for it. So it's very good for my confidence, and I'm appreciative of like what I've been able to do and like the environment I'm in. And obviously all the friends I've made, like lifelong friends forever with the sport. And just being happy with myself is what I get from it. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to even know now. Like most of my hours of every week is put to this. But you know, if I'm thinking realistically, I most probably would have stayed in trampolining if it weren't for parkour. But even then, it's tough to say because I kind of got to the point in like late 2022 where like I got to quite a good level in trampolining. I was okay. And I kind of stopped enjoying it as much, or like I still loved doing it, but I kind of plateaued to a certain point. There's only so much you can do with a certain facility and certain coaches and whatever it is.
So you would have tried something else regardless.
Yeah. So just before I got into parkour, I got a new one wheel, which for those of you who don't know, is like a go-kart tire with a motor in the middle, and it's like an electric skateboard type style thing. And I did this not even because I wanted to like compete in it, but I just think it was like super fun to ride. So I would ride around my local town and like go on trails like people on mountain bikes do, you know?
Yeah. That thing is a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
I saw that.
It's cool.
It's awesome. I think I would have continued doing that, but I also think I would have got bored of it.
Because I think things like that and trampolining are very, well, the way I see it, I haven't done a lot, but it's like, it's one thing to do.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, like soccer. You run around, you score it in a goal.
Yeah.
Parkour for me, it's so versatile.
Of course.
The styles and the movement. It's like you can, if you get bored of doing bars, jump on a box. If you get bored of that, do a flip. Like it's never ending really.
There's always another thing to do, and this is why I don't even really watch any like other sports. The only like I really watch the sports that I do. So like not so much trampoline anymore, but like a lot of parkour, free running, competitions and vlogs, people out training that I look up to. And then I also watch MMA, so just martial arts. I find it quite interesting. But other than that, I think I watched rugby for a little bit when I was younger, but I just kind of...
So would you play rugby?
When I was young, I had a bit of interest, but I didn't have a clear head. So my dad pulled me up and was like, hey, mate, it's not to dig at you or anything, but you're not the build for it. And I completely agree. And I'm glad. I feel like I could have ended up with like a lifelong hindrance.
Less brain damage.
Both of you actually have very good parents. Like I know your dad pretty well, and like his parenting is one of the best that I know of.
Awesome.
And your mom also does parkour right now.
Yeah. She got into parkour, I think about like 2 years ago or something when we started the women's class, which was like amazing for me to see. Like it's so inspiring seeing her jump and like just move her body. And she said to me like her life is so different now. She feels her body and uses it in ways, and she's so much stronger than before.
And she started what age?
She's like 55, so she's probably like 50 something.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. And so every time I'm like
So
convincing people, I like say to the kid, I'm like, is your mom joining you today? She's like, what? And I'm like, bro, my mom does it.
My
Okay,
mom
come
does
on
it.
now. But no, yeah, my mom has been like the most supportive for this, and she's going to come with me to Europe for like a week or two at the start to just see the vibe, because she loves it herself too. And she thinks the community is amazing. Like this is a random example, but both my parents used to think tattoos, this is random, okay, tattoos were like for criminals. My dad still thinks that's fine.
Obviously.
Yeah, like look at you. You're in jail right now, you're criminal, right?
Yeah.
And she came to Apes, and JP, the owner, has tattoos all over. And then she had this switch in like, oh wait, they're just like
maybe.
normal people. And so like she was hanging out with these like 20-something-year-olds, and it's just like, I also love the mix of age and gender in the sport, and it's very, it doesn't matter what you are, like a kid, adult, whatever, girl, boy, we all just train together, and it doesn't affect it at all. So I think that's really great.
It only
about
makes it better.
100%.
Yeah, if it was just like all boys who were 20, it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
But
No, it's one of the most inclusive communities I've ever been around, and like also big shout out to Penny. Penny
love Penny.
is
It's
great.
my mom.
It's big up, like people that are like coming into a sport that is largely dominated by like younger people or a certain gender or type of person. It is daunting, and it's something that I think you guys have done so great with the women's class. It brings a whole new demographic, because even myself, even someone that could already like backflip on the ground and do all these things, the first time I went to Apes, walking into Apes, even with someone that is like sponsored by Apes, that has been going there for so many years, I was still nervous. And I was jumping for like the first 5 times I went, I was a bit like worried about other people.
Yeah, like, everyone's
So
doing it.
it's really good to see like people that are really young, you know, past like a traditional like professional sporting age, and going, look, I'm not here to do like world-class things. I just like moving. I like the people here. And like now we've got a lot of the mums of the kids that come are helping with the gym, putting on events. Like big shout out to every parent of a kid that comes to Apes, because it's great to have you guys on board, and it's also sick to see your kids like set goals that they don't think they can do, and then get there and feel this sense of achievement. And I really hope, I think they will take this lesson into like the rest of their life. And parkour's the best thing I've ever been around for that.
Yeah.
The reason why this this business exists, the whole purpose is to address this gap when adults dropping out of sports, or they never just done it to some degree. So my personal reasoning is that I really want to help people to become superheroes that they always wanted to meet, because it's you. It should be you.
Yeah.
Like you should be that person for yourself, and from what I found, specifically in Australia, some types of sports are not as popular between adults because it's not as cool or not as premium. So if you want to do something cool, maybe you play golf or like whatever is expensive, like you do that. So, but naturally, like from what I found, my personal example as well, like your mental and your just this source of raw energy in you, like that's the sports. That's what you need.
Yeah.
It's what it brings you. And it's, I feel everyone, if you see people online that you think are really cool or doing something awesome, instead of just watching and going, wow, they're really skilled, put yourself with those people.
That's what you did.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I when I was younger, I always saw people doing these things, and I went, oh, I want to do this. I don't want to just watch. I want to do this. And then you end up doing it, and you end up doing things that you saw other people do and was impressed by. Now you're like, wait, now I've done it. And I think everyone should experience this feeling.
Yeah.
So you both mentioned Manpower. What's a Manpower?
Manpower is, I would say, one of the biggest parkour jumps, like worldwide known. Right? And it's in France. It's Paris.
It's just a couple hours outside of Paris.
Yeah. So it's basically a rooftop gap. It's 2 stories above on the.
It's at least 2 stories.
Yeah. And it's onto gravel. I mean, I don't know why I'm talking. He's the one who's done it, but every parkour athlete knows about it. It's
something you can see in like every big video.
I mean, Manpower is like, it's kind of known as Day of Reckoning jump in parkour. That it's never going to be thought as like super easy. Obviously, in recent years, a lot more people have done it. But it is still, to put it in perspective, it's around a bit over 4.5 meters distance you have to jump, and you're falling for a little bit more for 4.5 meters.
And it's from one building to another building.
Yeah. So, and in the middle of the drop, if you like don't jump far enough, it's like 20 meters to
you're
concrete.
Gone.
Right? And I don't like to put it in this context because most of parkour is very street level. And you have, if you do it the correct way, it's about the same risk as going up the stairs. But this is a real thing, and it's only for select athletes that feel they are ready to push themselves to that level.
So it's not a necessity. You don't get a official parkour card if you jump that, right?
No, absolutely not. It's completely optional. It's completely like, even some of the best athletes in the world have gone there and gone, it's just not worth it to me. I actually went to it twice. And this is something that I'd seen online even before I started training parkour. And I always was like, wow, I want to get to the point one day I can do that. Yeah. And when I left Australia, I had the thought of like, look, I might do it, I might not, but like, there's only so much. If you've trained, you'll know there's only so much you can gather from a lot of video. You can get a rough idea, but there's a lot of times you can show up to a spot and it'll either look like way easier or like just like, oh yeah, that's achievable, or like, oh my god, the video doesn't do it justice, because most things don't look as big on camera. But yeah, it's pretty crazy jump. One of the things that I wasn't expecting was that you're actually jumping off of a corner. So that it's not actually a flat edge that you're jumping straight forward from. There's a corner and you have to jump off of the left side. So you don't get a direct jump.
Your feet are a bit off.
Yeah. So and the thing if you're doing it without a run up, then you're doing it off of something about like this wide, like a curb. And so your heels are off the other side, and behind you is like, okay.
Just standing there is already a problem.
Oh, it took me a second. It took me, like, I'm not scared of heights at all. and I'm like very happy about this. I mean, I'm surprised with how many parkour athletes are scared of heights.
You'll be surprised as well. You'll talk to many and they can't go above head height. Like,
Yeah.
it's insane.
Maybe that's why they started doing it in the first place. They're like, I want to get over this.
Yeah,
a lot of the time. And I think, yeah, I mean, it definitely puts in perspective when I was stood there with my toes over the edge, and it's like I'm literally over the top. Like there was points my head was over this drop.
Yeah.
And I knew in myself I could jump that far. And, you know, it's definitely something that I try to keep within myself. And, I mean, Fletch did it first. I filmed him do it.
On the first time
The
you've
first
been
time
there?
I went, yeah. I went with him and we both intended on doing it. And Fletch got there and was like, yeah, I just want to, he's someone that knew he could do it and didn't want to think about it. He just wanted to go, like, get it over and done with.
Yeah.
And he did it and he straight away said, wow, that's a lot of impact. And, like, I try not to let these things enter my head. Because to me, say this jump is a bit over, like it's under 5 meters of drop. And I had a couple months beforehand done almost 7.5 meters of drop. So for me, this is not like a new thing. Okay.
Yeah.
And for everyone, I don't think you should try do something that is like actually life risking.
When it's new.
When it's new. And if it's like even remotely close to like the hardest thing you've ever done. It should be essentially easy jump, but just you're testing because it has risk that you can perform to the same level.
So you're saying if you're doing something that you've never done before, don't start with life risking.
Yeah.
Like do a drop with, I don't know, mats underneath.
Yeah. So say at the gym, you make the same, you measure out how far the jump is. Say we usually measure in our own feet or shoe size. So we say, okay, it's 17 of my feet across and it's 3 meters drop roughly. And you make the same set up in the gym and you do it with no drop in the middle. So if you don't jump far enough, you still are fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you know for sure, can I jump that far? And then you need to get there. Same thing as the questions I was talking about before. You can still be able to jump that far and your brain stops you.
Yeah.
And on that day, I couldn't bring myself to do it. And obviously, like I was disappointed and I felt I almost should have, which is a very like, it's almost controversial statement in parkour. A lot of people say like, you should never say that. But on the day I felt that way. And I was quite frustrated. And later that day, I went on the roofs of Paris with a guy called Manu Na, who has done possibly the scariest jumps in
God,
parkour.
insane.
I have to put a clip somewhere. He did this he does them all. He side flipped in the Eiffel Tower. But like, there's one in particular that is crazy. And yeah, like I got to train with him on the roofs and I'm not scared of heights again, but the level of comfort he has up here, all these roofs are sloped down and you're balancing on a ridge that is this thick. And it's coated in dust. And there's multiple times where my foot slips off the ridge and then it's 2 meters of slope a little bit and then 40 meter drop to road. Like there's no jokes here. And it was definitely something that like I enjoyed a lot. And it was like, cool. The first time I ever saw Eiffel Tower was on a roof of Paris. But I found this gap that was like maybe like 3/4 of my max jump standing with no run up. As in, I could do it fairly easily. I think with the same height level jump, I can maybe do 10 consistently, 10 of my own feet. This was maybe 7, something like this, 7.5. So it was easy for me. But I couldn't bring myself to do it. And for the first time in many, many years, I was about to do something. And not only one of my rituals, which unfortunately we haven't touched on yet, but it's something that gets you ready to do a very scary thing. I did my 3, 2, 1, my countdown. And just as I was about to go, involuntarily, all my breath was it's like straight away. And it's like such a instinctive thing, which you try to drill out of yourself and you get better at. But there's certain things when it comes to life risk that you just can't block it.
Yeah. Especially if it's a different environment like that.
Yeah.
Like it's obviously it's a different country or a city, but also having this dusty roofs and all that, it's a big factor to that.
Absolutely. So I really felt that. And I left Paris and I went on with my trip and I said, look, maybe I'll get back to Paris, maybe I won't. And I was able to thankfully stay out of injury. I stayed safe while also doing some of the best things I've ever done and hang out with some of the coolest athletes. And I decided close to before I left to come back to Australia, I wanted to go back. And there was a guy that I met on my travels called Jazz, who lives in a place called Grimsby, which is in England. And he wanted to go anyway to Paris. So I met him there. And we showed up and this day was different. It was overcast, it was cold, and it took a while to get warmed up, but I was still very confident. Also, a bit of the takeoff was wet, and it had rained the day before, and even I think the night before. So it was definitely a challenge. And Jazz did it. He's already done it like 3 times. He's been to Paris a bunch of times to do it. So he did it. I'm like, okay, cool.
Standing pre.
Yeah,
He's done it. Yeah.
It's the same drop, and then he lined it. So he jumped from one like little bit of takeoff across a gap onto the takeoff of Manpower, walked up to the takeoff, and did it because he tries to like combo it with different moves before it. Okay. On the day he was considering standing side flip, so on the same standing pre-ledge, straight into side flip.
That's wild.
Which he wasn't feeling up to on the day. I think he wanted to prep it in the gym a couple more times before he went. I still believe he could do it, but
It's
I think it was
harder to generate distance with a side flip.
absolutely
Standing, yeah.
And I think it was the right choice. But
Yeah.
I know that if he chose to do it, he would have done it. But it's just it's a scary thing. But I ended up getting ready. It took me a little while, but I ended up doing it. And it was a big deal for me. And I was very, I don't know, if you see the clip, you see I walk off very like, not big celebration, just very like calm.
How'd you feel inside though? You were.
I was pretty stoked, but I pretty much just said, yeah, that was calm. As in that was not hard for me.
Not the hardest thing you've done at all.
No, not even close. For me, it felt like less impact than like 2 meters onto concrete, and this is almost 5 meters. And I think that's because for one, I want to credit like I've put a lot of effort into technique of taking impact, but also at the same time I was very focused. I was like so unbelievably like nothing was affecting me. If someone
you get in like a zone
100%.
when you're doing something hard because you need no room for distractions because that's when things.
You need 100% focus.
That brings us to another topic. Like, what's the difference between how you approach? What's your difference in approach to doing something hard like that, or just to training in general?
I think we're similar in the way we like visualize, as we talked about, but when you get into a zone, you have a ritual, right? Which is I know you want to talk about, but I know you've told me before you count down 3, 2, 1, and there's only, was it once you've never done it on the?
Oh, very, very, very few times. It's almost 100% of the time.
Yeah,
It
so
helps me.
I think that's great. I'm still finding, like every day you're learning when you're training, so I'm still finding that ritual. But we wipe our shoes in parkour, and I find myself doing this all the time. I once went down for a math test. Guess what I did? I started wiping my shoes. I was sitting down in school, so I don't know, but it's just like you get that. Like physical reaction, you're nervous, your stomach, you're like, whatever. And then it's something that gets you in a zone or calms you down and brings all your attention to one thing. And, but yeah, I think we're similar like that, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think like for me, a ritual is very important because if you do it enough times, or like say that you start doing it and for the next 6 months, every time you do something even a little bit scary, you do something like counting 3, 2, 1, you wipe your shoes, you stomp your feet, all things like I do all of these things anyway. But doing these things just before you do something scary, next time you do it, your brain identifies this feeling with, I'm about to do something that risks my health and is scary. And so it gets me ready to then go straight for something.
And focus.
And put all my focus into one thing and not let distractions easily get to me. So yeah, this is definitely a similar thing. I do the same, even like we were at the gym last week and I didn't even have, so we wipe our shoes to get the layer of dust off so that they're grippy.
Yeah.
I didn't have shoes on. I was barefoot in the, at the gymnastics center and I was scared to do a flip. It was like a double back flip with a twist in the first flip. And I was scared to do it even into the foam pit. And I started wiping to like get my brain like, oh, I'm about to do something scary. And I was more ready to do so.
Yeah.
And even when it's something that I know I could do without doing a ritual, I do it anyway. So that when next time I do something scary, it's more familiar. It's like a reference point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't know. The tone and the vibe is different kind of every time that I go to do something scary. Say in a jam setting, sometimes everyone's very hype and like loud and like, come on, you got this. And other times it's like, it just goes dead silent and it's just me and the jump. And it's like, whenever I get to that point of feeling most brave, I go, okay, now I start my 3, 2, 1. And then I can be scared for 3 seconds. It doesn't matter. There's been times I've been in my countdown going, I could be injured 5 seconds from now. I don't think I will be, but taking into account, look, I know that something can go wrong, but I'm confident in my ability to get out of it. And that's something I think is really important. I think that both of us have that, but we just approach it in a slightly different way. I mean, I haven't seen you do a lot of like, I mean, you've been coming to jams, but you don't do really big stuff. Do you prefer to do it like by yourself or at Apes?
That's what I was going to ask you. Like the environment in which people perform really well, like differs with every athlete. Like for me, if everyone in the gym is watching me do something, I often get get like stage fright or whatever. And I'm like, keep doing your thing.
That's very common.
I'll do it at my own time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there are some scenarios like I remember in my in-motion style run, I never done a competition before. This was one where everyone's watching you and it's like 3, 2, 1, go, do your line. And my first trick is a wall flip, which is foot on the wall backflip. Easy.
Yeah.
I've done it like 100 times. I do it and I hit my head and I like fall back to my butt and I'm sitting there and I'm like, do I keep going, whatever? And then I like lock in and I do the rest of my line. But that moment was just, I was not thinking about the trick. I was like, I'm in a competition and I'm really scared. So that mess up, and then that made a mental barrier. So I'm still trying to work on that trick. But
Get it done tonight.
yeah, no, I will. But it's weird. But I think the more competition scenarios you do, the better you get, obviously.
Yeah.
And you were saying to me when we travel, even if I'm not going there to compete and to get first, because I can't, right?
Well, maybe you will.
We'll see.
It's possible.
It's good to try it. Why not? Like, you're there and you just get used to it, and then
Yeah, 100%.
If you would be there and you would get to quali, would you at least just to do the quali to just see where you set it?
Yeah, I mean, I would 100% do it if I got the opportunity. Yeah, why not? I'd be really scared, but I try.
And that's part of the job.
And it's just like training with all the athletes as well. Because I was gonna say with Manpower, like, I know you're one of your biggest idols or role models is Dom, right?
Yeah.
And he did Manpower like
2017.
yeah, and then he fronted it like
Yeah.
ages. But for me, Lilu is like one of my favorite role models. She's an amazing athlete. And she was the first woman to do Manpower. And seeing that, it's like another, like breaking the jump even.
Yeah.
Because you'd see all these men do it. And as a woman, I'm like, yeah, okay. And I think some like internalized misogyny is like, they can do it, but I'm like different. And like, I hate to bring this up when I train because I don't want to be treated different or anything.
Yeah.
But never seeing a woman do this jump that's crazy massive and it's so like highly well known.
Of course.
And then seeing her do it, it's like, okay, we can do this. And you've met her, she's tiny, right?
She is one of the smallest little athletes I've ever seen. She's awesome though. Like, she must be about that tall. Like, she's not a big person.
You showed it like, she's standing next to you right now? Or like,
Yeah. I'm sitting down and she's here.
You're like, she's really small. Like this height.
No, she must be like under 5'4" would have to be. And she is like, the fact she got that done is like so crazy. She did it like years ago as well.
She's very good. She's like a powerhouse.
Oh yeah,
I saw her performing and it's like incredible.
No, it's
she's
amazing.
a show person.
So yeah, seeing her do that was great. And then even recently after that, like a bunch more women or like a couple have done it.
Yeah.
So it's just that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think role models are like one of the most important things you can have. You need someone not to like be exactly like them, because Lilu's style is very different to mine. Like it's tricking. You got touchdown raises, could never do those. But just to see someone do it first, it's very comforting. It's like, okay, that's a goal and we can get there. And
role models can be a collective model, so it doesn't have to be one person. You can collect multiple people and get them into something.
Absolutely. I mean, again, on that like topic, I mean, I look up to so many athletes. And I mean, obviously, I'm very lucky that Dom lives nearby.
You train with him every day. Look at that.
a lot of the time. I mean, he's recovering. I hope your ankles are doing a bit better, Dom. But yeah, no, he still very different. I mean, obviously, I'm trying to also do similar, and like he does big dive fronts. So I'm trying to take as much information from him as possible, because I quite enjoy big dive fronts, but I also do like a lot of big gainers, a lot of side precisions, which is all things he's done as well. But I think I just see a goal that I think, oh, I want to do this. I think I'm capable of doing this. And that's why I do it. It's not because Dom has done it. And it happens to be sometimes I do like on the same spot, I do the same trick as him. And maybe it's inspired by him. But I think that I'm still doing it because I would like to do it. Not because Dom did it and not because I want an Instagram clip.
Yeah.
It's because I think even if Dom didn't do it, if I walked past this spot and saw it, I would want to do it anyway. And yeah, this is something that I think is quite important. And I'm happy that parkour is a sport that you don't have to be one of the best in the world to hang with the best in the world. I can't think of many other like life modalities that you can do that no matter what. And it's very, very accessible to go to an event or even not go to their hometown. And if you're out training, you'll probably bump into them, and they're very open to helping you out. And because they had people to look up to, even though this sport is so young.
There's always people above them.
Yes. I think that like this whole concept of good crowd and inclusivity, it also speaks to what it means to be a coach and how one just decides one day that he wants to be a coach. Like you usually get that from some evidence that you can help people or it brings you joy.
Yeah.
It's not because you suddenly wake up one day and decide that you're better than everyone.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, it's rather because you wake up and decide that you can get everyone better. And that's a very healthy place to go from.
100%.
Yeah. No, I love being a coach. It's like the only other thing that I love doing at the gym, it's helping people, because once I was like a 9-year-old girl not knowing how to do this, and then all these people came and helped me. So like if I can make that experience for everyone else in the gym, I would be so happy. Like that's all I need, you know?
Yeah.
And also like seeing with any student, seeing them achieve a challenge is like the greatest feeling.
Yeah.
Like you've helped them through it, you've helped them through mentally, physically, whatever, and they get the challenge and you're just like, let's go, like better than when I do it, you know?
Yeah. No, it's definitely something that is like super rewarding, especially when you've been with them from like the start. If it's someone that when you were there for their first class and like you saw them not be able to like do the easiest warm up, and now they're like doing some of the harder challenges in the gym that even some instructors don't want to do. It's like, it's very rewarding thing. And it's awesome to see when I love the feeling that I was helped, same as you. People came and helped me, and I appreciated that more than anything else because it helped me get where I am. But for me to now have a skill set and a knowledge that other people would benefit from, the fact I can help people is like super big deal to me. And I'm so grateful that I put that time in, and I'm happy that people are able to achieve their goals, even if I just help a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a really good feeling. I really like it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. No, it's
I know it's not about Instagram and everything, but I think it's important to mention that you doing a lot of filming and drone shooting and all that stuff. I secretly saw some of the videos from Italy, from that place where, what's the name of the competition?
It's in Vieste. It was called Kings of the Concrete.
So Kings of the Concrete, they just chose the best freaking spot in the world. Literally looks like you went to heaven. Like all this white limestone everywhere, and like Italy, beautiful sea. And you were like on a boat. This footage, like those, like this church, like you flying around the church, and like I hope this comes out soon. So you guys should be on the lookout. You can see the Instagram handles of both Che and Alice. Go check them out, and definitely subscribe right now. Like what you can say about how the filming and all that speaks to you as an athlete, maybe like how do you combine both?
I mean, I think for me, it definitely helps seeing the world from another point of view in terms of filming. When certain people want to do like get a good video for themselves, even if it's not for the views, or maybe it's to get attention of a brand. For me to be able to, similar as a coach, know what kind of environment looks good on video, and what kind of I mix my knowledge of what like moves look cool and how to do the moves. So I can explain to them, this move would look sick on camera at this location. With this angle, with this camera, with this drone, whatever it is. So in Italy, it was really cool because everything's so like perfect cinematic. So we'd go to a cool place, and then someone would do an awesome flip, because luckily we're surrounded by the best athletes in the world. And while they're doing these cool tricks, I get awesome footage. And it's definitely something that I enjoy, being able to see the world from a couple different point of views. I obviously see it from the parkour point of view. I could jump from here to there. I could flip from here to there. I could go up there and then back down, whatever it is. I see it in videography with normal cameras, what would look good in the shot and the angle. And then I also think of like with the drone, I could fly through this, get a cool like sweeping shot angle, whatever it is. And having these point of views really like broadens my perspective, and it makes life a lot more exciting. I get to experience a lot more. Yeah, like you'll notice when you start doing parkour, and my mum was telling me about this, you'll walk down the street and just see the world differently. Like you'll see like a staircase and be like, oh, I could do this. And it's like she's lived 50 years and just saw a staircase. And then you learn all these things and see this in another lens. And then
yeah, it's just like you're always like, we're driving here and he's like, that's a spot, that's a spot. I'm like,
spot.
oh, look at that. Yeah. So it's just like, it consumes you, but it's good. Like,
Yeah,
it's very creative.
It's really great when you go out with someone that doesn't really train, which I don't do much anymore. But Alice goes out with friends. I'm sure you've probably seen where like you're walking out with like a normal group of friends that like don't train, and then you'll walk past a spot and you in your head you're like, oh, this is sick, this is awesome, and no one else knows what
Happens
you're talking
all the
about.
time. I'm like running off to do this thing. They're like, Alice, get back here. And I'm like, guys, do you see that? I'm going to come back. Like, bro, we're trying to go to the shops. Like, no, it's very funny.
Yeah,
the differences, but yeah. It's good.
Yeah. No, it's always nice when you go around, you find a new spot and you're like, oh, I've just been working on this new move and I could use this move here.
It's perfect.
And even if you're thinking in the same perspective of parkour lens, you still see the world differently every couple of weeks because you work on a new move and that's what's fresh in your mind.
And it unlocks a new thing for you to use in that space.
So even though I've walked around my local area 1,000 times and I've seen I know it like the back of my hand, I still, like, every couple of weeks, I'll be like, oh, I was just working on this trick. Wait, I could do that trick there. Whereas before I could do it, I wouldn't even think that, like, that was possible at that place.
Or maybe when you just started doing parkour, like most of the people, you were saying this thing, oh, my neighborhood is so bad for parkour. There's no spots, like, whatever. Because just don't see them. Yeah. And I think for you, Alice, like, with art, and, like, I saw your, like, very good drawings.
Yeah, my major work. I'm proud of those.
I think, like, same way like you exposed yourself to sport, like you're exposing yourself to art also makes you see things differently.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like you can get inspiration from everything, and like you'll notice a lot with parkour as well, the styles are so different between whoever's training. Like you'll have a flowy person who like might not do flips but might like move really nicely, maybe with a dancer background, and then you have people with like the punchy style and it's like traditional parkour, like massive, like fletch even, like massive cat passes, whatever. But I think creativity is something as well you do outdoors. You go outside and you can't change anything about a spot, and you have to figure out what to do with that. It's like problem solving. You can link these things and create this new thing no one's ever done before. So I think that's sick. Like the creativity overall with parkour as well. It's like, I don't know, parkour is just amazing. Like there's so many aspects which are just like, you get better at like everything. So yeah, I don't know.
You can never complete
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of parkour.
It's definitely a nice sport.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I like it. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Good fun.
Do you plan to explore more in the art perspective?
I mean, I'm always gonna do it. It's just like it's like a hobby for me. Like people go home and read, I'll just go home and draw. Like it's always that. And I've combined a bit of the like filming with a art. Like I want to do stop motion drawing stuff of like a movement.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Which I'm so like film something and then draw over it and then just to that. I think a few people have done that, but I could add my style to that. So I've got ideas and just combining my things. Be sick. Yeah.
No, that's really cool. I like the kind of personal goal of like I don't mind whether I get paid for it. I just enjoy doing it.
Oh yeah, like same with parkour. Like there's always I'd love to be sponsored and be able to live from the sport I love, but realistically, because it is a new sport, it's pretty hard to. I know, like even Dom with his like insane followings and stuff, he's it's like
I
he does
definitely
it because he loves it.
He does it because he loves it. He doesn't do it for money, and he's done very very well for himself to create a career in such a new sport. And the fact that he's been able to like have a life off the back of this is like one of the first people to do it, really. I don't think any professional parkour athlete at the moment is doing it for the money
purely off that.
Which is maybe a good thing. Honestly, I think maybe it's for good.
A lot of people they like something, they start doing it as their job, and then they don't like it anymore. So it's definitely something that is true. And but like big up to anyone that's been making money from parkour. And I really hope
you have to work hard for that.
100%. And I really hope there's some more brands that see the vision. Big up Red Bull because they're like making it happen. They're like, or any like big athlete that is doing quite well, they've got in contact. So, you look at Lilu, you look at Dom, all these people, Hazal, all these people that are doing quite well. They want to support that. So I hope that more brands see the vision, and maybe we can even collaborate with Red Bull rather than like conflict, because if we can work together and like see that parkour really has some value, not just for making money, but in terms of just overall for people in everyday life, I think it would really be cool.
Yeah.
He wants to get sponsored, guys. We have like 2 years.
Chet, take me back to that competition that you were in, because I know that you originally didn't even intend to participate.
Yeah.
And then you got to quali, like it was the whole thing, like the roller coaster.
Yeah, it was a very like random situation, but I'm very, very grateful for it. Pretty much I decided to go on this trip like maybe a month before I left, a bit over a month. Mm-hmm. And I worked like every day for that month so that I could at least pay for like my flights to Oslo. And in Oslo, once a year, there is OMFG, or Oslo Movement Festival Gathering. It's the biggest parkour event that runs annually. All the biggest and best athletes are there. They've got a crazy, awesome setup that you can train on, a parkour park, trampolines into the water, air track, sprung floor.
Oh, I want to be there.
All these crazy things is awesome. It's like the best thing to go to. And this year, we were lucky enough to have KOTC, or Kings of the Concrete, which is a competition run by Tempest Free Running, which is a chain of parkour gym based in the US.
Mm-hmm. We'll put some photos, videos.
Yeah, and before Oslo, they had only done it in the US. I think they did 2 events in their like loading bay behind their gym, where they just like set up some scaffolding behind the gym and like got the best athletes in the world to use it. And then they did one in like on Venice Beach on Los Angeles.
Oh,
and it
that's
was like
so nice.
Yeah, it was like right next to the skate park as well, where like on the boardwalk where everyone goes past.
Such a famous spot.
Absolutely. So now all these people, everyday people in Los Angeles, got to see the highest level of parkour just from like on the boardwalk. Mm-hmm. And it was awesome. The event went crazy, and all these athletes did some amazing things. And then at the end of this live stream, because I was watching the competition that was in Venice Beach while on the bus to work at Apes. And I was watching the live stream, and it felt like I'd never done parkour before. Like I was watching from an outsider perspective. Like every trick that they landed, I was like on the bus reacting to it. Yeah. Like I didn't matter that I knew who this person's name was. I didn't matter that like I knew the name of the trick. Either way, it was exciting.
Yeah.
And this was the first time I was like, wow, I think parkour competitions can become mainstream. Like again, I watch MMA. Not everyone that watches like UFC does martial arts. They just enjoy watching.
Yeah.
Whereas at the moment, the people that watch parkour are people that do parkour mostly, like the vast majority. But after watching this, it was so exciting that I was like, wow, like this could happen. People that don't train could watch this. And we have like good charismatic commentators there that are like explaining the tricks. And it was a very high quality live stream with like real proper cameras, proper like transitions, and like
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, it was very well put together. And it was so awesome to see. And after every run, they played the run back in slow motion on like perfect camera view. So if you'd never done the sport before, even myself who like does do the sport, I didn't know the name of some of these creative tricks. Mm-hmm. So the commentators were like, so what this is, you take off, you do 2 twists and 2 backflips, and like they explained it very well.
Uh-huh.
So it's very like appealing to normal people too.
Yeah.
If you don't know, like I was watching the one you did with my mum, and she thought it was great. The way like the knockout competition too, was very easy to follow. Mm-hmm. And like I think that's the way we want it to go, is to be like not commercialized, but like just
but
everyone can watch it in a way, a little bit.
This happened to BMX. I was observing that exact era where BMX went from just like a street art thing, like a rebellious, and then it get a bit commercialized, and eventually it now became an Olympic sport. But what a good thing happened to it is some like companies get attracted to it. They realize that there is money into the sport, that people want to watch it, and it can be objectively judged and all that. So it took a while. Like BMX went through a lot of hurdles, and it was unobjective at the beginning, and everyone was upset.
Yeah.
Sounds like exactly like parkour.
Yeah,
the way
absolutely.
it's going.
And it took maybe like good 10 years and a lot of back and forth, and people changing both in sport and then in regulators to make this happen. But eventually they got there. So yeah, even you say like we don't want to commercialize it, but kind of you need that in a way at least to get sponsors
to support athletes, I guess. Yeah. No, you're right.
No, absolutely. I mean, even again in fighting, like it was they had to change a lot. And I understand that like to make it something that appeals to normal everyday person, you can't just keep it like exact same. But I think there's definitely a right way to do it. And even then, like with a brand like Red Bull, who's like done so well for parkour, they've grown it a lot. And like, you know, again, parkour, like Dom is getting some of the biggest numbers for the Red Bull account, which is a big account. Mm-hmm. And even they used to run a competition called Art of Motion. And this run for quite a few years ended up stopping. They don't run it anymore. And like they did very well, but even then the athletes still had like feedback about it. It wasn't necessarily like, oh, super negative. It was just like, okay, we would change this as people that are in the competition. But yeah, we had Art on Motion, and currently we have Kings of the Concrete and SPL, Sport Parkour League. And both of them are doing a very good job. And I hope that they continue to grow. And it looks like each year they are. But pretty much, anyways, back to this Venice beach. They finished this event and they announced that they were going to be in Oslo at OMFG.
Yeah.
And at this point in time, I was just like so annoyed because it was another, like OMFG has got an awesome parkour park, the best athletes in the world, crazy, awesome setup.
Only gets
like,
better.
Right? And then they add this new thing. And I was like, I'm so upset that I'm missing out on this. Like, I'm not going to get to experience this. I'm so upset. Because to me, it seemed out of reach. And then, you know, long story short, we ended up getting to the point where I spoke with my dad and we went, okay, this is achievable, but I have to earn it. It's very much so floated. My dad has helped me a lot and it wouldn't have happened without him. But I made it happen and we got overseas and I got to this comp. Now, just before we left, I discussed with Dom, and we've been filming YouTube videos for his YouTube channel for a little while now. And he said, I think we should make a YouTube video of the on-site qualifiers where both of us try to compete in the main competition.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, let's do this. This was the plan. And we show up, and day one I think KTC qualifiers was day 3. So day 1, I showed up and I was like just having the sickest time, meeting everyone for the first time and like trying to do this thing. And the whole day I was trying to do a Kong gainer, which is like you run, you hit the wall with your hands, you backflip going forwards over it. And this is a trick I've done in the gym a lot, but never outside without like a foam pit. And I was super, super scared. And
also distracted, I guess, by meeting all of these people.
There was so many people
like,
around.
Are you for real?
Yeah. There's like people that I used to watch on YouTube like 2019 years ago when I was like before I ever tried parkour that were watching me attempt this, which was like a lot of pressure. But I then saw there was a guy called Shay Rudolph who showed up to the park, and I knew him on Instagram. He's Twin Parkour. It's him and his twin brother. And I go over to him and I introduce myself. And we chat for a little while, and he ends up going, oh, so what have you been working on? And I'm like, mate, I've been trying to do Kong gainer all day, and I just can't get myself to do it. It's so scary. And Shay just happens to be possibly the best in the world at this trick. Like, for reference, maybe like 3 months or something, or just like 2.5 months after this day, he did the world's first like Kong gainer onto a freaking handrail. And it's parallel. It's not like here. It was like his hands, the wall was about this high and the rail was about this high. It was like absolutely crazy.
It's not real.
Wow.
So it was like everyone went nuts. And this
he's like, let me tell you.
I know how to
like
do it.
he world's first it. He knows this trick very well. And so he's like, he hears me say I've been trying to do it all day, and straight away without hesitating, he's like, bro, I'll get you to do it right now. Let's go. Like super inviting guy, really nice. I think he's from Boston. And we go over and he's like, okay, show me what you got. And I prep it out and he tells me to change a couple things. And I do my first attempt and I kind of have to bail out because my feet clipped to the wall, which can happen. But I was completely fine. And he said, okay, your foot was a bit too close. Bring it back and you got it. And I changed it and I did it. And I think I did it like 5 times that day. And I did it one more time, like without a crash mat. So it was from the wall onto the sand. I'm sure we played the clip. And I was like, oh my God, this has been such a big goal for so long. Like, thank you so much. And then the next day I end up leveling it up by doing like a front flip into a Kong gainer.
Comboing it.
And I was super surprised with myself. Like, wow, I comboed it the day after I just did it. So I had 2 of the biggest training days of my life, like around the best in the world. And like that second day I did the front flip to Kong gainer was with a guy called Ed Scott, who's like amazing athlete as well. And so 3rd day comes round. And on-site qualifiers are in the afternoon. We got there quite early, Fletch and I, because we get early night. We don't go to like after party and stuff. We just go and sleep. We eat food and we come back. And we show up. I train all day, and I'm doing all these new moves, hanging out with these new people. And then it gets to like a couple hours before on-site qualifiers, and I was still intending on doing it, but I was quite tired. And Dom comes over and goes, "Hey man, I don't know if I'm going to do on-sites anymore. I'm pretty dead." I'm like, you know what? Fair enough. I actually might not. I feel quite sore. So we walk over as it's about to start, and like 10 minutes before on-site qualifiers, like the sign up closes, Dom goes, actually, I'm going to do it. Let's do it. Whatever. He's like, and then he hands me the GoPro and he's like, can you like document it for YouTube of me doing on-site qualifiers? I'm like, yeah, sure. Cause I wasn't feeling good. So I'm like getting ready to film him, and the commentator, Josh Dowie, he comes over to me and he goes, "Hey man, are you gonna do on-sites?" I'm like, "Oh nah." And he's like, "Oh, why?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm pretty sore. I've been training really hard." And he essentially just like nudged me a little bit and was like, "Do it." And I was like, "All right, let's do it." I knew I'd be upset if I missed out. So
You came all this way.
yeah, exactly. But my main fear was like it was the third day of my 3-month trip, and if I got hurt,
You
it
don't
would
want
have
to push
sucked.
yourself too far. Yeah.
So I had to be careful. But I went in and I did like just some things that like I was happy with, but not like definitely not as hard as I can go. And I didn't quite make it. And Dom was still like, "Dude, you like honestly, you would have been one of the, I think it was like top 10 went through." And he was like, "Oh, I reckon you were 11, something like this." Like we weren't 100% sure because they didn't rank.
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Okay, I'm done. Awesome." And then tomorrow I get to watch like the biggest parkour competition in the world with all the best athletes. So the next day I get there, wake up, my legs are so sore. Like I don't think I can do the easiest little vault in parkour, right? I don't, like I feel so bad because I've been training so hard. But it was fine because I was there to watch a crazy competition that I watched on my phone on the bus in Australia, and now I get to watch in person. I'm like, this is sick. Dom happened to make it through, so I was also like, okay, I'm going to film for him.
Such a good energy.
And I get some food from the food truck, and I'm chatting with Fletch. And Jeffy, who is a part of the team at Tempest and is the other commentator to Josh, comes over and is like, "Hey man, you did on-sites yesterday, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And he mentioned Grant, who was one of the guys who made it through on-sites, had got hurt and he had to drop out.
Oh no.
And so he said, "Hey man, like, can you fill in? I know you did on-sites, like we need someone to fill in this
You got to
thing."
do it, man. It's all you.
And I'm like,
Welcome to my emotional
I'm
roller
like,
coaster.
what? Yeah, this is where it all started. My God. So initially my thought was no, because
You said you couldn't do a vault. You were that
like
sore.
I was so sore. I did like walking hurt, right? As in I could have stretched it out a bit more, but like I was tired. And my initial thought was no. And I also was like, look, obviously like I can't even do anything that's like remotely as hard as I am capable of. And I could fall over and embarrass myself, or worse, I could like mess up and get hurt on the 4th day of my 3-month trip. So I was like, man, and Fletch was with me and he was like, "Come on, bro, you can't miss out on this." And I contemplated for a while.
Thanks, Fletch.
And we were thinking, and he turns to me and he's like, "Hey, if Dom hears you had the opportunity to compete in Kings of the Concrete and you didn't
And you
take
said
it,
no.
he would go nuts. I'm being a lot nicer than he will be." And I'm like, "Oh, mate." Oh. And I was still like, I don't know. And then I thought back to like the hours I was working back in Australia to earn the money to get the flights. And I'm like, if I had the opportunity to compete, or I go back to Australia a couple months from now knowing I could have competed in the biggest parkour competition ever and I didn't, I would be so upset. And I'm like...
And look to your right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's very important that you also compete when you go.
Yes. I'll try my best.
we'll see. So yeah, I went, you know what? I can't miss out on this. I don't want to miss this opportunity. So I took it. And I went over to Dom and he helped me build a line. We spent like 4 hours warming up and getting ready, and the competition come around. And also when Jeffy was talking to me, we're like, "Who am I up against?" And he goes, "Oh God, it's not comforting. You're up against Shay Rudolph."
The guy who just helped him do a congainer.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I was initially like, "Oh God, of course it's like the best in the world." But then I was also like, okay, this is a guy I've just been training with the last couple of days. Very nice guy. I want him to win this competition anyway.
Yeah, and it would be an honor to be next to him.
Absolutely. To say that I've competed against him is like crazy. And, you know, while we were both warming up, I was like, you know, putting the crash mat there for him. He was asking me how I was. Like, he was very supportive. And competition comes around and I am stressing out. I'm like, you know, I had earbuds in, like super focused as if I'm about to do a scary jump.
Yeah.
And like, you know, everyone was like, "Come on, bro, just have fun." Like, and I'm like, this isn't fun.
Have fun.
But yeah,
I'm about to explode.
Yeah, it came around, and you don't watch your opponent go because it's head-to-head format. That's the way that KOTC is run. So Shay run first, and then I run. And while
you
he's
not
running,
watch. Sorry, not watch because you're not allowed to, or you just
because you could change your run to like be better at, like, say you had a run planned and then you like watch their run, and just before you go it's like, okay, he did this trick.
Yeah,
it gives advantage to the second person that runs.
Okay, fair enough.
Obviously I wasn't going to win anyway, but it doesn't matter. It was my first international competition and my second time competing ever.
Yeah.
And so I I went and he did his run, and I take my earbuds out, I climb up, started at the highest point of the course, and this is like scaffolding. It was built well, but it's still scaffolding. It shakes a little bit. I'm 4 meters away from concrete.
Yeah, on video it's hard to tell that it's like scary or shaky.
It is
like,
very big.
You're doing a good job like hiding that.
Yeah. And so I go, and my main worry is I haven't done a lot of line building, so my connective movements aren't as advanced as usual. So I was more focused on connecting my movements smooth. It wasn't a lot of very hard moves. It was a lot of very nice connected moves with a big move at the end. And the big move at the end for me, which is kind of like the hard move, for me was the easiest because I've done it the most.
Was that the running game?
The running gainer. Yeah. So Lilu actually did it in her final run in the women's comp, and then she won. And I was like, okay. I was planning to do it before she did it anyway, but that's cool. It's like she won this competition with this move that I'm doing. Yeah. It's very like good for me. So I start my run, I start going, everything's going pretty good. I maybe like stutter once or twice, and I get to the running gainer and the adrenaline's pumping. I'm ready. I'm getting watched by like 400 people, and I'm I know I'm getting filmed by like 20 different cameras. And I go, and this is the fun part of the run. I'm like really enjoying it. And the Dom put it well in. The adrenaline gives you a little bit 10% extra power than you're expecting.
Everything I needed except just a little bit overcooked.
Yeah, but the thing is that when you do competition, the adrenaline, the pressure of the moment really brings you into like a bit more power, 5% more. So you're like, oh, I got this extra. Whoa. So it does happen, but mate, you should be thrilled.
And I just slightly overcooked it. I landed on my feet just fine, but I was leaning back. So one of my feet slipped out.
Overrotated.
And I fell onto my butt. And then I get back up, I do a cork off the end, I land, and I'm like, there we go. That was it. And I went over to Shay, and then obviously they like raised someone's hand, and Shay won, and like, it was a very friendly thing. And I was like, dude, go win this, go like smash it. Because I knew what his runs were planned, and it was nuts. And everyone has to watch all the KOTC comps. They're sick.
Every single one.
Every single one. All 5 of them.
Even if you lose in KTC, it's still best of your life.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Dude, and the thing is, like, Shay, spoiler alert, is current king of the concrete, the one from Italy. And now it was like at the end of the competition in Oslo, the final people had run. And I'm stood in this group of like 16 athletes, and I'm looking around and like, these are all crazy high-level athletes, and I'm stood in the same like circle as them, and I'm like, what the hell? At this point in time, when I did this, I was less than 2 years into training, and it was like
imposter syndrome.
Yeah, like
why am I here?
Why am I here?
Yeah,
but I was very happy, and competing is definitely different, but you can apply the same kind of concepts of like breaking down the challenge and the fear, and then even under pressure, performing to the best of your ability. And I'm happy that I broke the ice or broke the jump in the sense of competing internationally, because it's very nerve-wracking.
Yeah, that was a learning.
Yeah, and when I know that I'm not going to win, it doesn't matter about me winning. I just wanted to compete. And now, give me a couple years, I get a little bit better. And when I feel like, okay, maybe I still can't win, but I think I can, make it through the first round, maybe the second round, then all the nerves of my first international competition are gone. And I can I can put more of my focus into trying to do as good as I can. And I was absolutely stoked, and I really hope that you bring up the courage.
Opportunity, I'll try.
You
muster my courage.
You will
no pressure. No pressure.
You will have the opportunity. There will be a KOTC, and you'll do on-site qualifiers. I know you're going to smash it.
What one last thing that you want people to take away from this podcast, from this conversation?
I would say, I think learning from parkour, but like applying it to life, I would say everyone has like a thing that is their thing. Like, it sounds dumb, but you'll find it at some point in your life. And lucky for me, I found it when I was 9, when I started parkour. And it's something that brings you so much joy, and you have the opportunity to like get as good as you can or push yourself as far as you can and keep making yourself happy. I think you should do it to the best of your abilities, and while balancing it with life, which is what I've been sort of struggling with recently with school and like friends and family and all of that, you still want to make time for those things because they change your life so much. And like, if you haven't found that thing yet that brings you so much joy, just try new things. And like, who would have thought I'd be doing parkour? Like when I was a child, it's like, yeah, it's a random thing, but you found it, and you see when people sort of find that, and every time they do it or talk about it, it brings them so much joy. Like when I'm talking to Che, he talks a lot about parkour. And but I
talks a lot.
like that because it just shows his passion, and like it shows and it reflects in his training. He goes far with it because he cares so much. And yeah, it sort of like elevates you to your best state of yourself. And then there's always more, because in parkour and in whatever sport you do or whatever thing you do, if it's not sport, it's something else that makes you happy, you will get better every day with it and change yourself to be like a Pokémon, your like most evolved state. Why are you laughing? Do you know what I mean?
This is serious.
He's
Stop.
laughing.
Stop it.
You be like a Pokemon, and then you keep getting better, and then you're
You evolve.
not the best, because you can always be better, but
Yeah.
you find that, and then you be happy. Just do what you want. Just be
Yeah.
happy. Find your thing. Keep trying. Yeah,
Yeah.
Be like Jigglypuff.
that's what I'm saying. Charizard.
Okay, guys. Okay, I guess so.
Okay.
Feel like Jigglypuff.
No, I love Pokemon.
And what about you, Che?
I mean, there's so much I could say, but I would say, even if you're someone that knows you don't want to push a certain like limit, you don't want to get somewhere in terms of like risking injury. I think everyone should try parkour and see how you feel. Maybe it'll be something that you do want to keep doing for a while. But if it isn't, at minimum, think it's another way that you can exercise, and it's something that will make your everyday life not only easier but safer. Being able to move around a bit more confidently and being confident in your ability to move, it's a feeling that everyone should feel, and it will make you feel better in every aspect. So I hope that everyone can feel it and come into Apes. Come into Apes, we'll teach you anything. If you have a goal, we'll help you get there. Also, if you want to try come outside, you want to have more outside time, come find your local community. Sydney Parkour, and like I'm a part of Sydney Parkour, and they are also super great. They're trying to put on events once a month, and I think if everyone gives it a try, I think maybe it's for some people, maybe it's not for them, but I think there's only positives. There's no reason that it would be bad for you to try.
There's only one safe way to find out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Give it a go.
Exactly. So I hope that everyone gives it a try and they push themselves to set goals for themselves, break them down, and achieve them.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
really enjoyed it.
Appreciate it.
Sick, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again after
Come to run the
our trip
wall.
next year. After our Europe trip next year, we'll have to come back and give a little recap, see
I'll-
what has changed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and with school and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, a year out of school, a couple months of travel, meeting the best
free.
in the world.
Yeah. No, it'll be sick.
Don't you dare drop out of the sport.
No. Oh my god. Not planning on it.
You don't have to
anytime
worry
soon.
about us doing that, man. There's no chance.
There's been things in my life come up, but one thing that has never stopped has been parkour. So yeah, that's
It'll
the
never
only
change.
consistent thing in my life right now. Yeah.
Good
it's
stuff.
though.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a
Bye.
good one.
Have a wonderful day.
Awesome. That was sick.
Okay, mad. Yay. Jigglypuff. Bro.